Greetings, family. Welcome. Happy Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Saturday. It's so good to see everybody check in. We're just going to go live today for a very brief podcast. So, welcome. I just want to say that President Donald Trump and Earth Alliance is doing a phenomenal job. Check in, let us know where you're hailing from, family. It is Saturday, March the 1st, 2025, and the time is 5:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it is Saturday. It is March. Most people don't know it, but March is a war month. When you look at the M and the W are the same thing. So if you were to take the MAR and take that M and turn it upside down to a W, you know that it says war or march. So there are usually some type of announcements made in March that lead to some people feeling a little bit of unrest to let you know about what the deep state is doing behind the scenes. So it's just something historically that we've known for a long time that March is a war month. Also, March is a very interesting time because it is the time of spring. New life finally is coming on board. We'll see flowers springing forth. We'll see animals coming out of hibernation, trees blossoming, fruits and vegetables growing. And it'll be a time of reaping from what people have sown during the fall season. So, family, this is an exciting time to be alive. It is also the true new year when springtime happens. And from a so-called pagan perspective, this is when they celebrated the goddess Estre or Ishtar. She is the goddess of fertility. And so ancient places or ancient civilizations would have offerings during this time where they will offer fruits and vegetables and have a time of festivities and a time of joy and celebration because you are ecstatic about reaping what you have sown. This is a harvest season. So in ancient times, they worshiped or they celebrated or venerated Ishtar or Estre. And then they kind of changed that a little bit and modified it, and they turned it into a religious celebration. So the Christians around this time celebrate the resurrection of Christ because at this time of the year, it is a resurrection season. Everything's coming back to life, okay? The sun is out more, people are out more, flowers are blossoming, the grass looks greener, it's blossoming. So it makes no sense to be sad or depressed during this time when you see all this new life. So the Roman Empire wanted to change the so-called pagan way of life where everybody venerated the return of the sun, venerated Ishtar or Estre or the goddess and celebrated her and offered gifts to her and to their family members. And they said, we're going to make this a religious thing and we're going to turn this into the celebration of Easter. So it's called Easter because Easter is the same word as Ishtar or Estre. Well, around the same time, you have the Jews who celebrated Passover. In the Old Testament, this is the time when the children of Israel were told that God was going to send plagues to the Egyptians or those people who had enslaved them. And since he was bringing plagues upon those people, he needed to find a way to also protect his own people, the Jews who were in the land of Egypt. Now, this is the biblical story. So what the God of the Bible told Moses was, look, I'm going to send 10 plagues, but I'm doing this so that the Pharaoh and the people who are holding my people captivity will know that I am the one and true God and that I've chosen you, Moses, to lead my people out of slavery. Okay, so Moses told the people, I've been chosen to take you out of slavery. But we were going to have 10 plagues. Then Moses showed the 10 plagues. Well, he actually went to the Pharaoh and said, let my people go. And then the Pharaoh said, no, why am I going to let you Jews get out of here? Y'all my slaves. Y'all doing all the hard work while we have it easy. Okay, there's no way in the world I'm going to let you little Hebrew people, Jewish, whatever y'all call yourself, the people of God, out of my sight. I mean, at least you got clothes and food. And so Moses said, no, God has chosen me. I know I was raised in the Pharaoh's house and I know I was a part of this enjoyable time, and a part of this dynasty when the Pharaoh's daughter found me in the water and she didn't know why she was saving me, but she did. And I grew up in your house, Pharaoh. But yeah, God called me to let my people go, because even though I'm here and I kind of feel like I'm Egyptian because I was raised in your house, Pharaoh, I'm really not Egyptian. I'm a Jew. And I found out who my parents were, and I found out who my real people are. So yeah, God chose me, and I'm going to get my people up out of here. And God said to let my people go. And when Pharaoh said no, Moses put down his staff or his big stick, and you guys know the story. It turned into a snake, and then the Pharaoh sent out his magicians, and the magicians did the same thing. They were able to put down their staffs, and their staff turned into a snake. And then, if my memory serves me correct, Moses's snake ate up their snake. And then they just had this little competition thing where they just did things back and forth. The Moses, who was the savior of the Hebrew people or of the Jews, and then Pharaoh's people, magicians, trying to perform the same work. Well, God said, I got one better for you, okay? I am going to continue on with several plagues like flies, or locusts, and what else? Different plagues. Read the story, and there was like 10 of them. But the last one was the death of the firstborn. So what God told Moses to do was to let my people know that I'm going to come through the whole land of Egypt, and I'm going to take out, or KILL, the firstborn of all the Egyptians. The same will happen to the Jews unless they put blood on the doorpost, and then I will pass over them when I see the blood. This all happened around this season that we're in right now, spring. So the children of Israel lived in a particular part of Egypt called Goshen. So as long as you had blood on the doorpost in Goshen, then the death angel would pass over you. It didn't even matter if you were an Egyptian and you obeyed the command of the God of the Jews and you put blood on the doorpost, the death angel would pass over you too. So some of the Egyptians were smart. They was like, look, if this God is going to come and kill up everybody, I'm going to put blood on my doorpost too. So the death angel came through on this particular day, swept through, or the Grand Reaper, and killed, KILLED, or unalive, the firstborn son of all the Egyptians. But the Hebrew people, the Jews who had the blood on the doorpost, got some reprieve. Their firstborn were saved from it. And that's why that tradition became known as Passover. Well, that was the Old Testament. Around the same time in the New Testament, you had the Christ that was sacrificed at the exact same time during the same season. And the Christ was called the sacrificial lamb. And he was sacrificed or unalived, as you all know the story. And they say that his blood was the salvation for the Christians. So I'm just bringing that all up to let you all know that all of these, or these two Easter and Passover and Easter celebrations, occurred on the exact same day and around the same season of the veneration of Estar and Estre. The Roman Catholics knew that the Jews were keeping Passover. Okay. No, excuse me. Yeah, they knew that they were keeping Passover on it during the season, and they knew that the people who didn't have a religion and they had their ancient, traditional ways, acknowledged Estre or Ishtar. They came to call it paganism and saying it's a bad thing to venerate Estar. It's a wicked thing to celebrate, the resurrection season. It's horrible that you honor or venerate a female god. And they made it seem very, very bad. However, the Romans really were celebrating the same thing. They just called it Easter. And the so-called Jews were celebrating the same thing. They just called it Passover. Let's just be honest. And so the reason why I'm bringing this out is because this should not be a time where people are fighting each other and saying, oh, Easter is a pagan holiday. You guys are going to hell. I don't like that. Or, hey, you guys celebrate Easter, but we keep Passover. Or you guys celebrate Passover, but we keep Easter. Our God is better than your God. It's just a whole bunch of confusion. Why can't we just all get along? Why not just acknowledge that spring is an amazing time? It is a time to celebrate. It is a time of joy. It is a time of new life. People are excited. They've been hibernating all winter long. They've been exhausted from working all winter and fall. And now we got the sun coming out. So spring is a time of celebration and it's a time of joy, family members. It is a time of deliverance. When I grew up in a Jewish tradition, we called this whole season deliverance season from the beginning of March all the way through April because we celebrated Passover during the season. And when we turned over from just being Jewish to becoming Messianic Jews, we said, okay, we keep the Passover and we also keep Easter. So we celebrate all of March and April, but it's all about deliverance. It's all about springing forth into new life. It's all about celebrating and acknowledging a beautiful new season. So welcome to March. It's March the 1st. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to see everybody. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed the shows that we've done on the last few days. This is a time to acknowledge that the trees are about to blossom and that, we're reaping new harvests and just wonderful, wonderful things. And at the same time, it's a war month. And that's what's interesting about this 3D reality that is kind of complicated for me. It's like they'll have a celebration and something to beware of at the same time. Also in March, they have the Ides of March. That occurs on March the 15th. Keep checking in, family. The Ides of March is a day when the Roman Catholics would say, beware the Ides of March. And they would tell everybody that March 15th was a very ominous time. You're supposed to be afraid. You're not supposed to like it. You're supposed to be scared. And the reason why they did that is because on March 15th is the time or the date when Julius Caesar was murdered. He was unalive or his life was taken. And just a week before March the 15th, Julius Caesar had actually gone to a soothsayer or a fortune teller and asked the fortune teller, what's going to happen with my life? And the fortune teller told him, you're going to lose your life. And when he asked, Julius Caesar said, well, who's going to do it? He said, it's going to be somebody that's not born of a woman. So Julius Caesar was like, well, I don't have to worry about that because everybody's born of a woman. But what he didn't know, according to the Shakespeare play, and this play is based on history, he didn't know that the person who would take the dagger and stab him was untimely ripped from his mother's womb. He was born through cesarean section, which means he wasn't born of a woman. He wasn't naturally born. He was untimely ripped. He wasn't born. He was stolen from it or yanked from his mama's womb. So that's who killed him. And so it was like a really, really horrible time in history, according to Shakespeare's play and some other horrible documents. Other documents, historical documents. So Julius Caesar was killed by Roman soldiers. And one of those people that helped in taking his life was Brutus, who was his own friend, his best friend. And that's why, and I keep saying it, one of the most important, well-known parts of Julius Caesar's monologue when he was dying was, et tu, Brute? Like, you too? You're against me? You're a traitor? You betrayed me? Just like the other people who were supposed to have my back. And interestingly enough, that story coincides with Judas betraying Jesus. Crazy. Around the same time, around the same season. A lot of these stories are just perpetuated throughout different civilizations, different time periods. So Julius Caesar was unalive on March the 15th. And so the Romans always say, beware the Ides of March. And they tell people in the church and people throughout history to be afraid, to be aware, be on guard. Something is going to happen on March 15th and people don't even know it. So I want you to look up what has happened on March 15th in history. They call it a war month. The whole month, but the 15th, they always say beware. But behind the scenes, the Romans consider March 15th a time of celebration. You want to talk about something being like really interesting? They tell you to fear March the 15th and say, beware the Ides of March, but they consider March 15th to be a time of celebration because it's the time of a full moon, I believe. Let's see, it's the full moon or new moon. But it has something to do with the moon. And so they're celebrating behind the scenes where they're telling everybody else to be afraid. March is also the month where the inauguration for our republic occurs. Historically, our republic has always acknowledged March the 4th as the inauguration date, the lawful inauguration date for the president. But we had an inauguration on January the 20th this year, which is one indication and sign that President Donald Trump is still the CEO of the United States Incorporated, and that's why they're calling him the 47th president. Are we going to have something to happen in March? I would say emphatically so when you look at all the signs. What are the signs that we see as we head into March? Well, the biggest sign is that the Pope is now on life support. And I announced that last night because that was breaking news yesterday, that he was hanging on by a thread and he was put on a ventilator. The Pope represents the Catholic Church. It represents the Roman Empire. And the Pope also represents the United States Incorporated. This is why the United States Incorporated themselves in 1871 in the state of Delaware as a nonprofit religious organization or religious institution because it is headed by the Pope. So when you see the Pope is now on a ventilator or his actor, his avatar, body double, whomever, this is symbolic of the United States Incorporated dying. It's hanging on by a thread. The United States Incorporated is on a ventilator. And President Donald Trump is leading the charge with totally getting rid of it. While we see the Pope dying during spring season, something has to die in order for something to spring up. Okay, you had winter, you have fall, and then you have spring. The Pope is dying as we enter into spring. The reason why all this is happening right now is because the United States Incorporated is dying and the republic is being restored. President Trump has been chosen to use the tools of the deep state to totally annihilate them and unalive them as we resurrect the republic for our great country called America. And at the same time, republics of countries all over the world are being resurrected during this resurrection season. So President Donald Trump was chosen by the Grand Army of the Republic and the Earth Alliance, as well as some very, very powerful entities behind them to work as the CEO to take down the United States Incorporated. Then what will most likely happen is once he totally annihilates the deep state, what we've been told years ago is that he will likely step down at some point. Once he finishes his job, the captain of the ship always goes down with the ship. Okay, that's just me talking. We do know that he was chosen by the Grand Army of the Republic to take down the deep state as the Republic resurrects and become restored. So again, he's using the tools of the deep state, which is their executive orders to completely annihilate the deep state and to downsize the government. A part of downsizing the government is getting rid of the IRS. He promised us that he would get rid of the internal revenue services in exchange for the external revenue services, and he's making good of that promise. Keep checking in, family. Oh, he did? Somebody said that the Pope passed away. Wow. I didn't get that memo. I didn't know he actually passed away. The last thing I saw was that he was still hanging on by a thread. So President Trump promised that he would get rid of the IRS because the Internal Revenue Service is not part of a republic. It is not a government agency. The Department of Education is not part of our republic. All the 441 so-called government agencies that I've shown you, that list that I have, they're not part of our republic. So what has to happen is that any of those government agencies that don't serve our best interests have to be annihilated. They have to go bye-bye. They have to be cut off. And that's why Trump and Elon Musk have created the Department of Government Efficiency to downsize the government. They were mandated to do this by the Supreme Court of the United States. Trump has a court order to annihilate the deep state. If you recall, the Supreme Court of the United States overturned the Chevron Doctrine. The Chevron Doctrine allowed these entities to create themselves, pretend to be part of the government, and come up with legality, statutes, codes, and policies to enslave the people. For example, you have the Department of Motor Vehicles that said you have to have a driver's license in order to drive. Well, we know that we're not driving, we're traveling. Driving is something that you do if you're operating in the commercial realm. So why are they requiring us all to have a driver's license? That's unconstitutional. Many of these government agencies have done that to us. The IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, was created by the deep state, or the United States Incorporated, that was headed by the Pope and those bloodline families that usurped authority from our republic. So Trump has been commissioned to annihilate the IRS. He has a court order to do so, and to eliminate the Department of Education and 441 government agencies. Now, in order to save some of those jobs, what they're doing, the Department of Government Efficiency is doing, is looking at all the records, auditing all those government agencies, and saying any agency or any part of the agency that can be used to serve the people and that will be used to serve the republic will be reabsorbed by the republic. But most of those departments, 441 of them, have to go. So the Supreme Court of the United States said we're overturning the Chevron Doctrine, or the Chevron deference, that's another name for it, that allow these government agencies, these fake agencies, to incorporate themselves, call themselves part of the government, and put all these rules, statutes, codes, and policies on the people, and then send their policy enforcers after them, or their police officers after them, and fine them if they don't obey them. Well, the Chevron Doctrine said that they could do whatever they wanted to do. And anytime you went to court, the judges would say you had to obey those government agencies because they were experts. So the judges would defer you right back to those governmental agencies. That's why the Chevron Doctrine became known as the Chevron deference. With the Supreme Court of the United States overturning all of that, the whole so-called government has to be demolished. And that is why Trump said, I will totally obliterate the deep state. Thank you so much for the blessing, for the cast at blessing, Sister Deborah Allen. I love you so much. That is why this has to happen, family. So you had the deep state that created the Internal Revenue Services to tax the people. And that's interesting, because didn't the United States fight against the British because of taxing tea? And now you're going to tax the people and take 40% of their income? But before we had an IRS, we used the way the government used to make money was by putting tariffs on other countries. That's the way the governments were allowed to stay afloat. When the deep state took over, they stopped putting tariffs on countries for doing business with us and start putting tariffs or taxes on we the people. Earth Alliance is reversing that, family, and they are obliterating the Internal Revenue Services, the IRS. So what's happening with the IRS? What is the breaking news that is happening with the IRS? The Internal Revenue Service, also known as the IRS, breaking news. They have announced that they're closing more than 120 offices. Some reports say more than 110 offices. Other reports say more than 120 offices right now during tax season. And they're doing this to reduce the physical locations from 600 to now 600 minus 120. And this decision is just in alignment with President Trump saying he's getting rid of the IRS. And it's in alignment with the Supreme Court of the United States saying we must downsize the government. We have to overturn the Chevron doctrine. Why? Because the Chevron doctrine, which allowed these government agencies to say they're a government, were actually committing treason. And they were deemed as unconstitutional. And the Supreme Court went a step further and said the judges have operated in treason. The attorneys have operated in treason. The government agencies have operated in treason. And so they have to cease and desist, and their assets must be frozen. So these closures coincide with layoffs that we've seen and heard about with the IRS. And they're saying they're going to lay off approximately 7,000 employees immediately. Now they're saying first they're going to target probationary staff, and then they will move across the IRS and totally annihilate them. I'm sorry, I gave you I put up the wrong link. I apologize for that. Here is an article here that says, oh no, that's the wrong one. This is the second thing I want to talk about. Let me show you the article about the IRS. Hello, everybody. Keep checking in. It's good to see you. You know what? I don't have that article up. So I'm looking for the article that says that the IRS is closing 120 offices. And so what happened with these closures of the IRS and some of the other governmental agencies is that people started looking to federal judges and courts to help them. But federal judges are acknowledging and recognizing that they can't do anything about it because they're also being audited. And this is something that the Supreme Court has mandated happen. Let me see if I can find that article for you. Here's one from the Washington Post that the IRS will close more than 120 offices. Oh, wait a minute. They're saying I have to pay. Okay, we're not going to use that one. This is the Washington Post. You have to pay for that Washington Post. 1 minute. Here we go. Here's another one that's free. Let me know what you think about this, family. The IRS is closing 120 offices as part of their effort to completely annihilate the Internal Revenue Service. See, the IRS will shutter 120 offices nationwide. The Trump administration is moving forward with plans to shut down more than 120 IRS offices that provide taxpayer assistance as part of a broader effort to reduce the federal government's footprint and cut costs. The government all across the board, oh, I'm sorry, you guys didn't see that. I didn't know there was an ad up there, is being downsized, but this is going to help us in the long run, family. Let me see. There is an ad here. I didn't see the ad. Let me close it. Okay. Here is the article here. I'll put this in the description section for you guys to read at your leisure. So the IRS is downsizing, and President Trump said that alone will make America wealthy. Closing the IRS and eliminating income taxes for we the people. That means 40% of your income or what you've been earning through your salary will no longer be taken from you. But that's not the only thing he's done to make sure that we have wealth. He's put tariffs on other countries for doing business with us. That is going to make America wealthy again. And he created the Sovereign Wealth Fund. The Sovereign Wealth Fund is a fund that's comprised of stocks, bonds, foreign assets or foreign reserves, which are your foreign currencies, precious metals, rare earth minerals, and the like. That fund will be used for development of our country and our infrastructure and for investments. That fund is something that's not new to other countries because many other countries have a wealth fund. That wealth fund takes care of their country, their infrastructure, and their people. Any humanitarian efforts, universal basic income, typically for oil-rich nations, comes out of their sovereign wealth fund. So we've been behind the times with the deep state controlling our government. President Trump is saying no mas, no more. Speaking of rare earth minerals being a part of the sovereign wealth fund, along with foreign assets, stocks, bonds, real estate, et cetera, precious metals, I announced the other day, and I just want to reiterate that there have been countries that are offering President Trump and America rare earth minerals in exchange for helping them get out of wars. So what countries like Ukraine has said and the Congo has said is, we'll offer you some of our rare earth minerals in exchange for peace because we're tired of going to war. Just help us get out of this mess. The Congo, according to, I believe it's the CIA, there's some type of CIA book that my son, who's an economist, told me about that talks about all of the countries' wealth and minerals and resources. Fact book, CIA fact book. According to CIA fact book and many economists' works and research, the Congo is actually the richest nation in the world as it relates to rare earth minerals. But yet they're considered the most poor country in the world. And the reason that their people are dying of hunger and suffering and struggling is because you have other nations ripping the resources away from them or raping the land. So the deep state was using Rwanda or Rwandans, the Rwandan elite family and some other families to go and steal the resources from the Congo. And so now the Congo is offering President Donald Trump and America wealth, rare earth minerals, in order to expel those militant forces that are raping the resources or stealing the resources from the Congolese people. Ukraine also offered President Trump rare earth minerals to come and help end that war. So we're going to have a lot of wealth here in America, family. And that's why we should be rejoicing. All of this is coming out right as we enter into spring. Other breaking news is that the Department of Education have said that they're going to lay off a lot of people, but they're offering a severance package in the amount of $25,000. But the people that want to take this $25,000 severance pay have to let the Department of Education know by Monday, tomorrow. And this memo just came out yesterday, Friday. I'll leave that in the description section for you all to read as well. But basically what the article says, and I'll bring it back up. Let me show it to you so you can see it in print. Absolutely, Taj. He says, bring down the Department of Education. Taj, do you want to jump on right quick and tell your story? If you do, let me know. I'll send you a link. Just say yes or no in the comments. You can briefly share your story, as much or as little as you want to say. Taj is a great friend of mine. We've been knowing each other for, I want to say, about 15 or so years. So there was a message Friday afternoon, yesterday, that was sent by email from the United States Department of Education's top human resource official. He made this a one-time offer to all of the staffers ahead of she made it a one-time offer of what she calls a very significant impending workforce reduction. See the word reduction? They're reducing the government. We are pleased to offer education employees up to $25,000 voluntary separation incentive pay. Starting today, that was yesterday, including those who wish to retire, wrote Jacqueline Kay, the agency's chief human capital officer. Now, some people would say, well, if they get rid of, the teachers, this could be a problem. This could be a problem if we get rid of the teachers, because who's going to educate our children? And to that, I say, family, we're going to have to get to the point where we educate our own children. And I keep hearing people say, yeah, but the parents don't have as much education, enough education to educate their own children. But who educated the children before you had public schools? The parents, the community educated their own children. And you just passed on whatever information or knowledge that you had. Back in my grandparents' day and great grandparents' day, you taught the kids what you knew. If you were a shoe repairman, you taught them how to do that. If you were a farmer, you taught them how to farm. If you knew how to make clothes and you were a tailor or a seamstress, you passed that information down to your children. And I know we're, supposed to be a little more advanced and you want to treat them reading, writing, and arithmetic. But if the parents can't do that, why won't we find the teachers that are in our community and hire them to raise the children? It boggles out my mind that we complain about the deep state feeding our children poison, but we know that they're poisonous, and we send our children into the hands of the enemy. But the other side of that, I understand, I overstand, is that parents have to work. And somebody's got to watch the children. All I'm saying, family, is it's going to happen whether we like it or not. The Department of Education is being downsized. The IRS is being downsized. All areas of the government is being audited. And we're going to have to come through some very uncomfortable experiences, or come through those experiences and feel it and feel the pain and the change until we get off of our bottoms and do something ourselves. We're going to have to educate our own children. Now, the other side of that, though, is that places like Florida has created money so that if you want to send your child to a private school, there's money available to do that. Or if you want to educate your child, there's I think they're offering like $10,000 for you to be able to stay home and educate your child per child. And I think that's amazing. My point, though, is why are we so upset with the government being downsized when the government is not part of our republic? The government doesn't have our best interests at heart. I mean, overall, the overarching theme of the government is not to help you, is not to make sure you thrive, but break down the word government. Govern, to manage, to control, ment, mind, menshe, to govern or control the mind and the menshe. Didn't the Supreme Court say that they were overturning Chevron doctrine or the Chevron deference because the government didn't have the best interest of the people at heart, because the government wasn't part of our republic, because the government was unconstitutional, because the government was committing treason by making us do all of these legal things, not lawful, but legal things, and then forcing us to pay fines or go to jail if we didn't do it. They're treasonous. And I know it's going to hurt us because we work for the government, but we're going to have to figure this out. And what we need to be doing, in my very strong opinion, I'm not going to say humble opinion, very strong opinion, is to figure this out for ourselves. How are we going to educate our children? How are we going to feed ourselves? What are we going to do when all these government offices close? What are we going to do when welfare is done away with? What are we going to do? The beautiful thing is that we have each other. We can learn to barter again. And yes, I know NASARA benefits are coming out. JSARA benefits are coming out. So-called universal basic income, or UBI, NASARA benefits are coming out. 1 minute, family. So yes, NASARA benefits are coming out. My son's bringing me some food. I'm hungry. Hey, son. All un momento. 1 minute, family. Ooh, my son brought me a big old, huge bowl of spaghetti. I'm so excited. And I'm a vegetarian, so it's got vegetables, lots of vegetables and sauce. But the government has been miseducating our children, as Polish said. It's miseducation, indoctrination, and brainwashing. And that's what's, and yep, the schools brainwash us, and the brainwashing for us is causing us to push back and saying that we need these government agencies to support us. LT asked everybody to hit the light, hit the light. Oh, hit the light switch. Is that what you're saying? And as Don says, some teachers love to teach, and then some brainwash. I know I love to teach. I absolutely adore it. So you're right. What we could do if the Department of Education completely closes is we can use those teachers to teach our children. If they can create schools, we're going to have to learn, in my strong opinion, to create businesses, create schools, create our own banks, to create shops, to create bakeries, to create mom and pop stores like we used to have. I still remember that time period when we had our own shops. When I was growing up, you had Mr. Johnny right across the street that owned the store. My friend's daddy owned a garbage company, and they were millionaires. And then you had all of our doctors that were educated, usually, and trained to practice medicine, usually lived in your community or around your community. And the local stores, the community stores where you would get your groceries, or the local butcher where you would get your meats, will have a ledger where they knew everybody in the community, so they would write down in their ledger how much you got and how much you were paying on it. They extended credit to people. But they knew where you lived, they knew who you were, and they would just say, oh, so you bought some meat today? How much meat do you need? How much you want to pay? Okay, now your remaining balance is so and so, and you can come in at any time and make a payment on the meats that you bought for the month. So that's the way it used to be, and it was very, very communal. What's wrong with going back to that time period? Well, these are just my thoughts, family. I just wanted to let you know that the government is in fact being downsized, and things are working out for our good. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. It's going to be painful, okay, for some people. But the good thing is that we do have the sovereign wealth fund that will inject some of that wealth back into the economy. We have Nasara, we have Jasara, we have some of you that have foreign currencies that will go ahead and do the exchange, and you will become extremely wealthy through those currency exchanges. We have some of you that are using the fiat that you have to buy real estate, to buy depreciated assets, et cetera, et cetera. So that's about it, family. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And then I want to make a small announcement. Somebody said it's been painful already for a very long time. Hi, Don. You watched me teach. You said, I watched you teach. You do good. You were teaching the children to think. You remember that? I streamed live once or twice from my classroom, and the children loved it. I love children. I absolutely do. Inez says, Dr. Kia, tell us how they took the mothers out of the homes to work to help pay bills. Yes, so Inez, Sister Inez, when I was in Texas, I learned that it was a Texas law that women, first of all, it was colored women, Black women had to go to work. It was a law that was put in place that women could not, Black women, African American women could not stay home. And when I shared that with my son, who studied history, that this was a law in Texas, I said, wow, my cousin explained that to me when I just spent a week in Texas, 8 days in Texas last week, that Black women were told, or women classified as Black, that they could not stay home. It was actually a law. He said that was a law in different states, many states in America. They had to go out and work. They were not allowed to stay home. Before, Black women or women classified as Black would work like maybe at a home of a Caucasian person or a rich person, or they would work as a nurse, or they would work, for families, or they would work as I forget what you call it, people that help birth children. Thank you, Taj. Okay, I'll send you a link. They would women used to do those types of jobs, and mainly work like in people classified as white, maybe in their homes. I'll send you a link, Taj. But then the government says Black women or women classified as Black had to go out to work. And then the Caucasian woman was like, well, who's going to raise these kids? I ain't raising these kids. This is what I was told by my cousin who lives in Texas. When you live there, you know the history. And they were like, I'm not doing all this by myself. And so allegedly, the Caucasian woman was like, forget this. Okay. Not only did y'all send my husbands to war, and now left me here to fend for myself. Then when I hired these the Black women to help nurse my babies and to help me out, then you tell them they got to go to work, and now we have to work. So it's interesting how we've only been told the stories in part. So all the women forced to work, the men are off to war. Now the children have to be in school and trained and miseducated by the government. It happened little by little by little by little over time. And while they have us fighting each other, different so-called races, and the husband against the wife, and, you went out to work, but you went to war, or you took benefits from the government, and the government said I couldn't be in the house as the man, so you're at fault for how the relationship isn't working. All that chaos was created in order to disrupt the family so that the government could control us all at every single level. And then before I get my friend on, Taj, send me your email, please, by text. Before I send Taj this email, I just want to say I spent some time with a few immigrants, or I should say migrants that are here. And to my knowledge, they are legal. And when you know people, personally, family, your perspective kind of change a little bit, because I'm like, look, if you're undocumented, go home. Hurry up and go home today. We'll figure it out. And then I was talking to some of the migrants that are here, and they were like, but we do the work that Americans won't do. And so I said, like what? Because I don't believe that. Y'all can just, like, I don't understand. You're telling me how hard you have it here, but why don't you just go home? And so they were telling me their perspective, and they were like, okay, so at home in some of our countries, we don't have water. And if the government gives you water, they'll turn it on for one day, and you got to fill up barrels and hope that the barrels of water that you have will last you through the rest of the week. Otherwise, you don't drink water and you'll die of thirst. Or in some countries like Cuba, they only give you a ration of food. And after that ration runs out, you just don't eat. Then I heard stories in Cuba. Did you know that if you don't have food in some families, and they have a name for this dish, they will take the parts of the mop that we use to mop our floor, season it, batter it if they have batter, and fry it for their babies to eat, their children, and that's what they eat as food. It could be a sponge they would take and fry it. And I'm not saying, I hope I'm not disrespecting any of our family members that might be from Cuba. I can't imagine. And so you see your family members dying, and so you take any opportunity you can to get to America, and you hope and pray it works. Then you take the jobs, according to some of their stories, that nobody would take. And I said, jobs like what? So one of the people that I met said, well, remember how I said my spine is always hurting? I said, yeah. He said, because some of the people that own the businesses know that some of us are here undocumented and some of us are documented, but we're really desperate. We come from a place where we don't have water, you don't have food, or it's war torn. And so we're just so happy to get to America. We'll do anything. And he said, well, some of the people that I was working with, we were like chopping down trees, but we don't have the machinery. You might have to chop down tree with one tool by yourself, or you might have to drill the ground, or what they said. Well, I don't know what they call it, where they're fixing the ground and doing things to the ground or to the cement without the proper tools. And so you might have to do it by yourself or 2 or 3 people, and it really should be done with a machine. He was like, some of the stuff that we do, Americans won't do. And then we don't even get paid till maybe 80 days or 120 days later. And what are you going to do? You're not going to complain. Who are you going to complain to? Americans? No. You're going to complain to your family members? They're like, well, at least you got an opportunity. And I was like, wow. And so what they're trying to help me understand is, no, some of us shouldn't be here unlawfully. And trust me, I'm one of those that like, no, you shouldn't. Because I was like, y'all taking jobs away from Americans. And their side of it was, will you guys go back to doing that type of work, hard labor, and wait 3 or 4 months to get paid? I was like, and I'm not much of a cuss. I was like, hell no. No, we would not tolerate that foolishness. And so they were saying, well, we have to do it in order to feed ourselves. So hearing those stories, I still feel like you got to have laws in place. You got to be here lawfully. It just helped me to see another side of it. And I think I expressed that while I was in Texas as well, but I just heard more stories early this morning. When I was in Texas, I was hearing people say, you know, we work from sundown to sun up. We work 16-hour days sometime, and we don't get rest, but we have to do it in order to eat. And then we want to send something to our family. So I was even telling my friend this morning, you want to send your family what? He said, these boxes, I gotta send them these boxes of food. And I looked in that box, I said, that's not food, that's junk. No person in their right mind would eat this garbage. What are you talking about? This is here in America. I was like, the stuff is outdated. I've never heard of these names. This is not even no name brand I've ever heard. It's full of junk, full of sugar. You're gonna send that to your country? Why would you do that? Americans would never eat this foolishness. I don't even know where y'all get this stuff from. He said, we get it from the churches. They give us these cakes and these cookies and these, what's those hot chips that the kids love? Y'all know those hot chips in a purple bag or the green bag or the red bag. That's not good for you at all. They give them to the migrants and the immigrants that come here. And, you know, they can eat those or they can send them away. And they did, you know, acknowledge that they get $200 in food stamps on top of that. But they're like, we have to wait to get paid 80 to 120 days, and we get paid low wages, and we work 12 to 15 hours straight, and we're hurting. So, you know, they were like, now some people get good benefits, but some of us don't at all. And some of us aren't treated well. And then we get this junk food, but we eat it because it's better than eating the mop little strings. So all I got to say, family, is not the Doritos, but they did have some Doritos, but mostly Takis. Yeah, and that's what my son told me too. My son told me the churches give the homeless people that junk, and everything is expired. Syria said, well, Americans will do the work just like we did it before. I heard that. Manual labor. At 17, I went to work hanging drywall. Yes, and my husband, God rest his soul, actually had a construction company where our children were the employees, and they've been doing that since they were children. So absolutely. And Marco says illegal is illegal. Absolutely. You're from Havana, Joseph. Joseph, Can you tell me, I'm just trying to listen to another perspective, if how you feel about this. I mean, if you can just let me know. No judgment, because I agree that illegal is illegal. We got to do things right. I just want to hear all sides of it, because I do have a heart of compassion, and it's not my fight. You know what I'm saying? It's not my fight. It's not. I need to. I've learned to let things that happen in government, let them do their stuff. I'm focusing on this. What I do know is, once the republic is restored fully and we get some peace out of all this chaos that's been going on, then there will not be any borders and people will be able to migrate freely. But before we get to that, we've got to get out some of the people that are illegal and unlawful. But trust me, they're not going to get rid of all the unlawful or illegal people. They're not going to do that. First of all, they got to find them. Secondly, they're going to save some of them to do the work, in my humble opinion, my strong opinion, until AI gets up and running, and the SARA money's coming out into the country. The just SARA benefits are coming out to their country. Then some of these migrants and immigrants that are here, both legally and illegally, will go back home once their republic is restored, because through the GESARA, the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, in order to get those benefits or claim those benefits, the thousands of dollars that each national will get, you have to be in your own country. And we saw a semblance of that with Guyana making an announcement, the South American country, that they were giving their people a $100,000 grant, one-time grant to nationals that were 18 years and over. But you have to be in country to receive that $100,000 grant, and you have to prove your nationality, that you are a Guyanese, Guyana national. I sent you the link, Taj, but I don't see you in the back office. So let me send it to you one more time. So let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section. That was my announcements that I've been talking to different people. And while I'm still, my stance still holds that you have to do things lawfully until we get I didn't mean to send that I sent it to the wrong person, till we get things in order. But I'm just taking the time to listen to some of the people that are actually doing the labor, and listening to what's going on in their countries. And what I'm finding is the deep state has caused all of this chaos, caused war in their countries, caused sanctions on their countries, stolen the resources from the people, made them suffer. Okay, so then now they have to find a way out. Are you going to commit a crime? Are you going to steal from somebody? Or are you going to avail yourself of the opportunity that the deep state in America has allowed you to have by coming over here illegally or unlawfully? What you going to do? Thank you, Joseph. That's what my friend from Cuba said. He said, nobody is illegal. He was like, and see, I was trying so hard not to have these political talks with him because I didn't want it to, hurt our friendship. But he was like, humans can't be illegal, mommy. Humans should be able to cross borders. Humans should be able to migrate. Listen to yourself. The people in power have told us that we're all illegal, while they rape from all of us and steal from all of us and cause us to fight and say, you need this and you need to stay in your country and I'll stay in my country and you need to stop stealing my resources, when the land offers enough for everybody. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, is what the scripture says. You don't send people anywhere, period. Family, I'm just talking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud. That's why they came here, the corrupt in their country. When the SARA comes, they can go home. Thank you, love. So those are just my thoughts. I'm a little sad today. I'm going to be honest. I told my friend I can't hear anymore. I just started crying. I broke down. I was unconsolable. He's like, mommy, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't mean to make you sad. It's okay. I was like, you're dying from thirst and hunger. You're eating mops. You don't have food. Now, when I was in Africa, I got to see like Doomsday in Ghana, where they turn off the lights and the electricity for hours and sometimes days, and that was traumatic for me being an American. But the other side of that was like, well, we got peace. It's total darkness. I can sleep and I can just be at peace. So there were like multiple things going on in my head at the same time. But I just broke down in tears this morning. I almost didn't go live today. I was like, I got to tell a soul family that, we have good news. The IRS is ending. The Department of Education is being downsized. The borders are being protected. People are being deported. And the other side of that is I'm in conflict. I'm sad today. So that's it, family. Y'all, that's just, I want to say pray, but no, we got to command. We have to command all of this chaos to end. Awakened One says if they've committed no crime, the repercussion will come later. Right now, if you've committed a crime and you're illegal, then that's when you're being deported. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all help me out here. I say, MM says, well, technically, Europeans who were brought or came here unwillingly are illegal too. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't change because time has passed. Woo, child. Yes, the Department of Education is offering a severance package or a severance pay of $25,000 if people retire early, Malika. And I put that article in the description section, family. When they show people starving, I always see edible plants all around them, Ezra says. But they've been conditioned, a lot of people in other nations, not to eat those edible plants. It is crazy. It is crazy. Oh, Inez said you put me in tears also. I'm sorry. Melissa says, I've been crying. I know. God. What we're willing to go through is a lot, Awakened One says. Yes. You are feeling that way because it's the new moon and planetary alignment. Beautiful, Kia. Thank you, Jill. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I'm so sad. I'm just crying. Sinbad says, I'm crying now. I'm sorry. When you hear the other side of people's stories, it just, you're human. You have a heart. You cry. You ache. You bleed. And having said that, let me welcome my friend. Hold on, Taj. Let me remove one. Hi, Taj. It's good to see you, darling. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Fantastic. I'm going through it over here, brother. I'm going through it.
I just want to say hi to the Soul family, and I was just listening to the ordeal that the people have gone through, eating sponges and stuff like that. My heart. So I'm definitely going to sing prayers for those people.
Yes.
Everybody's suffering.
Everybody, yes. Someone.
Yeah. I do hear feedback here.
You do? You hear feedback?
Yeah.
Family, can you help us decide what to do about this feedback?
Do I need to go out and come back again?
Yes, can you go out and I'll send you another link.
Okay. Hey, Marcy.
You know Marky?
No.
Oh.
Maybe.
Maybe, right.
So, you want me to come back in?
Yes, okay, I'm going to send this out. I'm going to go ahead, go out, and I'm going to send you another link.
Okay, thank you.
So Taj is going to talk to us about what's going on in his area with the school system. Jill says, I'm experiencing ascension symptoms. You said all week. Oh, you've been experiencing ascension symptoms all week? Wow. Okay, he'll go out and come back in. Okay, I'm going to do that. Thank you, family. Only him had that feedback? Okay, let me send him another invite link. Okay. So, honestly, I never knew that these ascension symptoms were real. I mean, I heard about them, but I never acknowledged that I had them or that I experienced. I never knew that I was experiencing them. Jay says something is going on with child support. I received a letter that my balances were forgiven. It is. It is because it's actually unlawful for them to take money out of your trust. That's what they've been doing, taking money out of your trust to pay for the child. And it's unlawful for the mother or the father to supply your social security number to the government to steal money from your trust. So they had to overturn all that and get rid of that, the child support issue. They're overturning all that child support and all these unlawful, illegal things that the federal government have been doing. The Black Dove says that, thank you, Dr. Kia. The energy is heavy, so it's good to be among people who are aware of the planetary alignment. Thank you all for overstanding and understanding and for helping me to know what's going on with me. Ezra said child support is fraud. Wow, they got us. They got us all playing along with the system. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take you to court to take care of the child. When back in the old days, the community used to just handle divorces and settle family matters. But now we have enemies, people that don't know us. I don't want to call them enemies. People that are strangers settling family matters, and it should never be that way. Jay says the happiest man in the planet. You're the happiest man in the planet. All right. Yeah. Here we go, Taj. Let's try it again, honey. You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you very well. Do you hear any feedback?
Nope. Everything is perfect. Everything is healthy.
That's
so I want to say again, hello, Soul family. Dr. Kia has been a friend of mine for 14 years, but we never, ever physically met. But when it's a divine thing, physical touch, it don't matter when it's a God thing. So I just want to tell everyone on the line just to be encouraged. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You dry your eyes, woman. Dry your eyes. It's going to be okay.
Thank you.
You're going to be all right. You know it's all love, and it comes with it. But it's okay.
Right. Thank you.
It's okay.
I feel better. Thank you. I needed that because I was feeling really heavy, but I feel better. Yeah, we have never seen each other. We've been through deaths together, births together, marriages, divorce, dating, religion, changing different religions, spiritual systems.
Like, what you gonna believe in today? Like the spaghetti monster in the sky, you coming?
We've done. Look, we were part of the Black Power movement, the Hebrew Israelite. What else? Asara sect community, the Christian community, Islam, like everything.
Listen, we all of it and none of it at the same time. Okay.
Come on here, yes.
All of it and none of it at the same time.
Absolutely.
We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So I just leave it at that.
Absolutely. Yeah, so come on.
Go
ahead.
Okay, my co-host, my son, he didn't want to come on because he's still shy.
Oh, that would have been wonderful. I knew Micah. So when you and I became friends, how old was Micah?
4 months old, 5 months old.
And how old is he now?
14.
Wow. That's crazy.
He just had a birthday a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, happy birthday, nephew. I know you can hear me, son.
No, I have to go in the bathroom so he don't hear me because he'd be like, no, don't talk about me. So I had to sneak away. But bless his heart.
Yes, bless his heart, Taj. And Taj has helped me through like my husband's sickness, his illness, his passing. He helped me understand and overstand a lot about nationality as it relates to us being Americans, Aboriginals. Like he's just helped me the whole transformation that I did with understanding and overstanding nationality and true American history started with Taj. So I want to thank you so much for that, Taj.
I sit back and I laugh because you never know who you're going to reach, and you never know who's the next person to really spread the truth And I am so, I love you, and
I
I'm
love you
so in
too.
awe of you, and I knew you could do it. And everybody that's being touched all over the world, I'll be like, yo, that's my
Thank
Dr. Kia. That's my Pruitt. So
Yes.
anybody that sees Pruitt in all caps is coming from me, but I'm not yelling at her. That's my thing with her. Pruitt, when I
Pruitt.
call her in the morning. Pruitt.
Pruitt.
So all right.
And when he's in a
So
real
we're
good
gonna,
mood, when you're in a real good mood, you say, Key, you understand Key. It's like this, Key. And I'm like, look, only
right.
people that's real close to me call me Key.
That's it. No odds in there. Just Key.
Just
But
Key.
yeah. But we won't bore the people.
Okay.
This whole thing with my son and the Department of Education in New York City started back in December. They started pressing him for a vaccination, the meningitis shot, to be clear. Me and his mother have been at odds with each other for some time, but through this issue, we've gotten a lot closer, my ex-wife, because we both agreed that he wouldn't be vaxxed anymore. When you know better, you do better. So we've actually become closer, and she's remarried now. So actually me, her, and her husband have become really close. And so it's a beautiful thing to
That is
have
beautiful.
unity in front of your children, regardless of how the dynamics of the family is. But anyway, they started sending emails. And so we started replying to them and telling them, our religious freedoms and, me being a Moor and all stuff like that. They promised me that Micah not being in school would not be held against him.
Women, so you
And
removed him. Women, you removed him from school because of the
well,
vaccination mandate.
well, that's the end of the story. Well, the story
Okay,
ain't ended yet, but
sorry.
they
Okay.
actually they asked him not to come back because he wasn't vaccinated.
Oh,
So
okay.
while we were going through that, and I was writing letters to the Department of Health, trying to figure out what could we do, the medical exemption versus the religious exemptions and all that stuff like that. They were sending Micah homework every day.
Okay.
And it was to our understanding we would have contact with the school just about every other day, either by phone call or through email, documented everything. It said him physically being there, it would not be, charged against him, and everything would be okay as we worked it out. Well, I decided after not hearing from Department of Health for 30 days, and they received my packet because I had electronic signature. I called the principal. She wouldn't help me get in touch with anybody from the Department of Health. So me and his mom and her husband, we decided to show up at the school with, some more documentation. The principal made us wait. She said she was in a meeting. Who's in a meeting at 9:00 in the morning for 2 hours? So, we waited for 2 hours. Then she sent down her assistant principal and gave us, the runaround. So I tried to hand her the documents of not my religious exemption, but my sincere religious beliefs, which I don't know, Key, maybe you know better than me. Did they overturn the First Amendment? Did I miss something?
No, they did not. No.
Okay, thank
No.
you.
You're welcome.
All I kept hearing about in New York, it's the law, it's the law, it's the law. And I would say, fine, please somebody give that to me in documentation and cite a case. Nobody would ever do it. Then they're telling me, well, what's wrong with you? You can Google it for yourself. It's free information.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, when we were at the school, we had a conversation. And so then the assistant principal goes upstairs, and on her way up the elevator, she tells me, well, Micah is going to be voluntarily expelled from school. And I'm like, for what? Well, failure to communicate from the parents. So I drove my ex back home to the Bronx. This is in Harlem, so you're talking maybe about a 35-minute drive.
Mm.
CPS have been called on us.
Mm.
So now we have an open case and an investigation.
Mm.
So the lady gets there, and I'm already back in Connecticut, and I'm telling her to put me on camera phone. So she's in the house looking around, and she's asking questions, and the school reported us
Mm.
for, I guess they call it truancy, when the whole time we were in communication with these people. So
Mm.
now we have an open, active case. And she talked to my son and found out that Micah he was doing homework when she walked through the door.
Mm.
Not only was he doing homework, but
Mm.
Micah's in 2 STEM classes
Mm.
outside of what he was supposed to be doing. I
Wow.
paid for 2 STEM classes. So she
Wow.
gets on the phone with me. She's like, well, it doesn't look like he's being mistreated or miseducated. I was like, no, he's fine.
This is
So
the
she goes
CPS
back to her.
worker. This is the CPS.
It's a
Okay.
CPS, yes, CPS worker. And I can't really tell a whole lot, Key, because, I still got some things,
Okay.
some irons in the fire. But,
Yes.
long story short, they called the attack dogs on us. So
Mm.
now they're trying to tell a story of him missing and all that stuff like that. And still, we were never afforded to sit down and talk with the
Mm.
principal face to face, anybody from the charter school, the board of education. Like, nobody would sit
Mm.
down and have a conversation. Now, call me stupid, but if you feel so strongly that you have a law, why can't you just invite their parents in, give us
Mm.
that paper, and be like, okay, see you later?
Right. Right.
To this day, nobody's
Mm.
presented anything. So um, we sent out some emails to some other people that you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, when God has a ram in the bush, when you just said that thing about Department of Education, you know, Rome got to burn, Sodom and Gomorrah got to burn, and I say this like Nino Brown: if Micah got to go, everybody got to go. So by the time spring recess is over, they might not have a job. So if he expelled, they expelled too.
That's right.
So we just asked the family to lift us up in prayers, and he had been down because he was missing his friends and everything. But I explained to
Mm.
him, Mikey, you were sent here as the leader. So I
Mm.
know this is difficult for you, but you are
Yeah.
going to be the voice of those that can't speak for themselves.
Ooh, speak.
You are going to be the voice of the mothers and the fathers, because they're not from this country, because they're allowing people that are migrants into the schools too, that they
Mm-hmm.
can have a voice. They can have a
Mm.
voice. So this
Mm.
is a real dark web, and
Mm.
people are taking money, and you
Mm.
want to kick my child out of school because every day that he's not in that school, it's costing him $2,000 a day because he's not vaccinated.
Mm. Mm. I didn't even, when you told me the story, I was like, that's incredible. I didn't even know they were still mandating children to be vaccinated in
Right,
2025, 5 years
right,
after the pandemic.
right. But it's not just the COVID. It's not the COVID
Oh,
thing. It's meningitis, which I
oh,
found out that they want to really give it to them by the time they're 12 years old, because at 13, I guess your pineal gland really develops. So they
wow.
want to take you out with that. So he's never getting vaccinated again. I don't care what it is.
Mm. Mm.
That's a child of the Most High. He don't need that. We do not consent.
That's right.
So as of this past Friday, he was taken out of the school. He no longer has access to the portals where he was doing homework. So
Mm.
when I asked the person downtown, I said, so technically he's been missing over 30 days, but you all knew this was going on. why did you let him in the portal? And
Mm.
he's like, well, I can't really answer that, but none of his work counts.
Wow. Wow.
None of his work counts.
Somebody asked Brother Taj, the Black Dove says, have you considered homeschool? Because it's not
Oh
safe
yeah,
anymore to have them
oh
in
yeah.
school. It's not safe.
That was our mindset. Anyway, I can't really tell you the plays, but
Okay.
confidential. But
Mm.
yes, he's being homeschooled now. And I just like to say to the parents that are really on the fence about this,
Yeah.
take your children out of this school. And wouldn't it be wonderful once you get your school up for the girls and
Yes.
we do the thing for the boys, that before those children, before they start learning, getting the formal education, one, we do their natal chart, two, we do their
Mm.
life path number, and
Yes.
we design a curriculum that goes along with them to
Wow. I
bring out
love
their
it.
light,
Mm.
because I don't know about nowhere else, but I know New York City education, all they do is take a test and is based on
Mm. Mm.
memorization. You're not learning anything.
Mm.
You're not
Mm.
learning anything. They still teaching that Christopher Columbus discovered the Pilgrims and the Indians and all the stuff like that. They still telling them that mess.
Wow. Wow.
So with more science, how what we do and everything like that. I had to teach him what real money was and what fiat was, and he's known these things that since he was 5, 6 years old. And then I know I'm all over the place. Forgive me,
No, no,
family. I'm just
no,
passing.
just talk freely. Yes.
Um, I would check his book bag, and when he was in first grade, there's a pamphlet sent home. I have two daddies. I was like, oh no, the hell you don't. I have two daddies. Yeah,
Wow.
they started that mess in the first grade.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Mm.
My son they tried to keep my son after school last year because a teacher who wanted to identify as something else, Michael would not call him that.
Mm. Mm.
Him, she, he, listen, sir, no, not disrespectfully, but you're not gonna confuse my child with that
Right.
foolishness. You could be
Right.
whatever you want to be when you go outside the school, but
Mm.
we're not doing that here.
Mm. Mm.
So it might have started, all that stuff might have started from there. And my son literally had perfect attendance prior to this.
Oh, wow.
He
Wow.
had been going to that school since first grade.
Mm.
He's now in seventh grade.
Wow.
And, I had to tell him to dry his tears because he's missing his friends and,
Yeah.
but he's going to be
Oh.
okay.
Oh.
He's going to be okay. And I know God's people are going to win in the end. So I have all the confidence in the world that things are going to get better, and this is bigger than me, Kia.
Yeah,
It's bigger
absolutely.
than my son. It's
Mm.
bigger. I mean, and we all have our personal crosses to bear, and carrying everything like this. And this is all a part about making America great again, and
Mm.
part of the republic, and part of going back to the ways of independence and governing yourself.
Mm.
So I actually spoke it up 2 years ago when I was talking to his mother, and she was getting on this case about not doing your homework or doing other things, and I was like, someday it might not even be any school as we know it.
Wow, you spoke that thing
It
into existence.
spoke it into existence, and here we are,
Here we are.
and actually at this point I'm excited, and he's excited too, and
Okay.
he's into building things, and I know he don't want
Oh,
me to tell you, but he created a Roblox character, and he's actually making money right now. He's designed clothes for the character. He don't make some money right now as we're speaking.
that's beautiful.
So
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
so I'm proud of him, and
Yes.
we're going to keep lifting him up, and we're going to draw out what's in him, because he has a purpose, just like everybody else.
Absolutely. And I thank you for sharing your story, because this is something that a lot of parents are actually going through, fighting the school system for you. Maybe you don't want them to take those shots, or maybe you don't want them to be taught certain things in school. So can you
Right.
share with us, the challenges of now that he's home, trying to figure out how to homeschool him? Like, what challenges, if any, have you and his mom come through,
Well,
work through?
we're just getting started because all of this, he was officially unenrolled.
Mm,
He was
okay.
officially unenrolled Friday. So all of
Mm,
this is we're getting the ball started. So I know, he spends time with me, so we actually split custody. So a lot of this is going to be based off of structure.
mm.
And so I told him with the homeschooling program, it's not designed for him to fail, unlike being in the school system where there's 40 kids to one teacher.
Yes, yes, it is.
You understand what I'm saying? So
I can
in
attest
my
to that. I'm a
reality,
teacher.
I think the odds are a little bit better when it's one on one. And now they got portals with AI that he has access to a lot of
Mm,
these things because over the past month and a half, he was doing his assignments here, but nobody was really getting back to him and saying anything. They were just accepting the assignments, but not really helping him.
mm, mm.
So he was slipping in that way. But I think we're going to put together a great homeschool program for him,
That's
and
awesome.
a lot of kids that I know personally that were homeschooled, they turn out to be a little bit sharper than the kids that have been in these overcrowded classes. And
I've done a
this
little.
is nothing against teachers. Anybody out there that's a teacher, I salute you. I worked in the board of education for a little while, but it's nothing against you. It's the system that has to
Mhm,
be dismantled. It's the system. And anybody that's a teacher who's, in jeopardy of getting laid off, I
mm,
would say to you, start developing your own curriculum from the things that you love and start
mm,
attaching to yourself to children that have the same interests as you. Because now that you're going to
mm.
love what you're doing, can you imagine how you would really be if you can teach from your heart?
Wow.
Something to think about.
Mm.
So I'm just truly excited. I'm
That's
truly excited
great.
at the yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
Ain't
That's
nothing to be
something.
sad about.
But that's
Yeah,
something, how, a challenge can turn into a beautiful opportunity. It's amazing.
absolutely. And the whole time, they expected so-called people of color to come down to the school and act a fool and everything. No, we stayed in honor the whole time
Mm,
and was very
mm.
pleasant and spoke, like we had some sense. And
Right.
they just did not know what to do with us. And
Mm.
Kia, when I started questioning the lady, it sounded like her button got glitched because she like, oh my God, I don't know what to say to you. I have to be careful with my words.
Mm.
And still to this day, nothing written, even in so-called expulsion, you have your day in court or you get to, three strikes you out, or
You do.
you get to meet with the
Yes.
teachers. Like, how the hell did, excuse me, Law, how the hell did it go from that to this kid being out of the school completely
It's supposed to be in
because of a
school
shot?
suspension. In school suspension first. Warning.
Mm,
In school suspension. Suspension. Then expulsion. But you have to exhaust all of that. You know. And I'm sure some things in between.
hmm
Mm.
and he was never afforded that. So, basically the story is like we just disappeared. The kid just disappeared for over 20 days and nobody heard from him. And so now, because they're concerned about the child's safety, they have to call CPS and do an investigation. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all
So,
right.
but what is the CPS worker's stance now that she's examined the case and met with you and his mom and Micah? What is she doing
She
now?
just At this point she just wants to make sure that he's enrolled into a homeschool program
Mm.
so she can close the case because there really was no case. The only reason why CPS really needs to be called if there's an abuse or neglect. So this is what we're dealing with. But trouble don't last always, right? The weapon will be formed, but it shall not prosper.
Woo! No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Amen.
Right? So I ain't like Chief Mack going in like that, but you know, I try to do my thing.
Green Eye said fear didn't work. They tried to put fear into you, but it didn't work.
Listen, I'm built a little different. You can't talk to me like that and shake me in my boots. I'm good. And what happened was that little lady came down there, and I'm a kind of a stocky dude. I ain't the tallest dude, but I'm kind of stocky. And I put that masculine energy on her, and she didn't know what to do with it.
She didn't know what to do.
Plus, I have my fez. She didn't know what to do with that.
Woo! Yes. Yes. Yes.
So that's what caused her. It was literally a retaliation thing. How you going to call CPS on us when I was just at school? Islam, brother. Islam. That's a bay over there. That's the governor.
Come on through, governor. And what are you, Taj? Are you? What's your appellation?
I'm an L.
You're an L. Which is what is the
Elohim? El.
So
we're the
more is the governor.
The Bay is the governors. We're more like the philosophers, the art people, the the thinkers and stuff like that, according to the way I was taught. But the system is going to crumble.
Hold on, wait a minute. Sinbad says you look like a teddy bear. I would love to hug him.
Oh, thank you. Here, you guys send them to my teddy bear music.
You know what? I was just getting into that, about to go there when you said what L's do, but I'll let you finish your thought. I'm gonna let you finish.
So,
go ahead.
So thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So everything's gonna be all right. All is well. All is well. And I'm excited about, everybody's going to be made over. And we get to witness this great wealth transference and the republic coming back and set aside all this anger and bitterness and this colorism and all of this nonsense. And I walk every day with a newness and in my heart. I want to be a good person. Yes. I want to be a good person. I strive for excellence. I really care about my character, and that's what I'm teaching my son. And he's always known that he wasn't a black person and all stuff like that. So it's all good. It's all good. So,
Taj,
we got victory.
We do. Love being Nubian is our moderator, and I'm glad she brought this up because you know about trust. She says, get a living trust and put you and your child in it. What is your response?
I did that, baby girl.
You sure did. She sure did.
My sister, my play sister, she does estate planning and all stuff like that. So we've been connected for over 9 years. Thank you. But thank you so much.
So why did that not protect you? Or is it a layer of protection?
They still have to do what they got to do.
Oh, okay.
And we were sending them the documents, and basically it was like a hot potato kid. Nobody wanted to touch it. They act like they didn't see it. His mother sent the documents to the head person who's in charge of all of this, and it just came back the other day that it's the wrong address. There's some powerful people behind the scenes, but they ain't more powerful than God. So they act like it went to the right address, but for some reason it got kicked back.
Wow.
And it was supposed to be signed for.
Okay.
It's weird, man. It's weird. It's weird, but it's okay. It's okay because Go ahead.
Now, you said that your son knows that he's not black. I know my audience probably gets tired of me driving home this point, but you're the one that helped me understand and understand how Walter Plecker changed some things in the Census Bureau. Do you have any time to go through explaining to the Soul family why we're not Black?
You breaking up. You breaking
Okay.
up.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Your screen is frozen.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I can see me. Oh my gosh. Somebody
There,
says
there it is.
they're playing
There
games.
it is. Yeah. They don't want this truth, King.
So you were saying that you taught Micah, he knows, he understands or understands that he's not Black. You're the person that helped me to understand and understand how Walter Plecker and the Census Bureau did some things to change our classification. Do you have time to talk to the Soul family about why we're not Black? I mean, we've been told all our lives you're Black. Everybody across the world calls us Black Americans. Like this, I'm having cognitive dissonance here, or I was. Can you explain to the Soul family what you mean by that?
We actually been denationalized, and we've experienced you know how like the Jews say that they've gone through the Holocaust. Well, we've gone through the Holocaust, but on paper. And we are the only people on this planet that keep getting you know, I'm from the city, Funkmaster Flex remix on our name. You know, we go from color to Negro to African American to Black and on and on and on and on. And all of these names take us right off the land, and you don't have any inheritance. And so anytime I can tell people these things, it's my desire to teach it. Some will get in, right, stolen identity. Some will get it and some will reject it, and they just want to hold on to this Black thing. And I understand that it means something, but even when you put a crayon in a child's hand, they know the difference. They know they're not Black. And I just ask people to look into that. What does that mean? Well, you know I'm Black. Also, well, what color is your skin? It's brown. Well, who are you? I'm Black. How is that? My hat is Black. You know, and a lot of times, Kia, the ones that fight us the most is the people that look like me and you. I have not ever come across anybody from any place else all over the world of different skin tone or different nationalities that fight as hard as our own people fight. And basically, all you got to do, if your grandmama's still alive, ask her, or everybody that was born here in this country. I would say 99% of us have had that story. Your grandmama and them, your auntie and them, somebody told you, you know, we got a little Indian in us.
You got Indian in your family.
Yeah, you know, you just never had that story with a slave or an African. And shout out to the people from the coast of Africa. Love y'all. Never had no issues with y'all. But we're different. We're different. We're
Who are
different.
we?
That, you know, we're over here, and so we have a different thing going on. You know, like my cousin Phoenix Moon. You know, over here is Operation Cornbread. You know, so we got to get together over here. But it's going to work out. It's going to work out. And I just want to salute you.
But where did that come from? Where did this whole Black identity come from in this whole slavery story? I know it's complicated.
Well, you know, when we were enslaved, you know, prisoners of war, it's a status thing.
Okay.
It's a status thing. We were originally the white people, which has nothing to do with color. It has all to do with a higher status. And so when people go back in history, you got to question, well, who was the white people and who are the Black people and who are the mulatto people? This thing runs so deep. Like, you have to do your own genealogy. Stay away from the DNA stuff because it's for entertainment purposes only.
Mm.
Entertainment purposes only. Because according to them, everybody from the Congo, everybody from Africa, and that's just not true. I mean,
Mm.
if you want to say, if you want to do the Pangea map and all that stuff like that, and we are the Ibri or the Hebrews, across the
Mhm.
Great River so long ago, and okay, but we're here, and
We're
we've
here.
been here so long that we don't need to really claim anything over here, where everything started here first. Like when
Mm.
you brought up that picture from the Bible about America and Egypt and all that stuff yesterday. I
Yes.
took a screenshot of that. So
Mm.
this is the motherland. People say about the motherland. Okay, well, where's the fatherland?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Where's the fatherland? Because everything is duality.
Okay. Okay.
Everything's duality. So, we just have to keep working, and this is nothing about I'm better than you, my God better than you, and my color and this and that. It has
Mm.
nothing to do with that. Every man has to worship under his own fig and vine tree, which means now
Mm.
we can belong back to the family of nations and be respected again.
Mm.
Be respected, because you can't you can't be a person out of the crayon box because you sound crazy. You
So, do
sound
we sound
crazy.
crazy to other nations when they say I'm
Yes, we
Chinese?
do. But
I'm
I,
black. No.
I have you ever met an Asian person or a Chinese person say I'm a light skinned yellow person?
No, never.
I'm a dark skinned yellow person.
No.
That sounds crazy, right?
Yes.
I'm a light skinned white person, but
No.
we do it.
Mm.
So it runs deep, and we just have to continue to speak the truth and teach who will ever accept it. And all I hope out of this, at least just go look it up. If you
Mm-hmm.
want to go look at Noble Drew Ali, or there's some other people, Dane Calloway on YouTube, Taj Diami,
Mm-hmm.
all of these people. Asir, to Asir, I said, what up? These people are much more knowledgeable than me.
Asir the Duke
So,
of Tears. Asir the Duke of Tears,
yeah,
also known as Asir Cordoba Ali, I think. We've had him on the show many times.
yes, and every time he's been on the show, I've watched him, because I used to live in Brooklyn back in the day, and I know that I've come across him when I was doing my red, black, and green Ungawa Black Power. You know, you know, right before Micah was born, I was heavy into the Pan African stuff, and I appreciate my journey.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate my journey, but I knew one thing that will always bother me. I never grew up just totally segregated. I grew
Oh.
up with Italian people and Puerto Rican
Oh,
people
New York,
and
Connecticut
Polish.
area. Where New
Yeah,
York?
yeah. I grew
Okay.
up with all kinds. Yeah, I grew up with all kinds of people. I didn't have that experience of just black only. And so when yep, James Brown said, "I'm loud, I'm black, and I'm proud." Right.
Mhm.
So I didn't have that experience. So to come into this world where it's just black, 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 black. I mean, I got to the point where I hated white people so much I didn't even want my teeth to be white.
My God. Yeah, with all that
You
rhetoric,
know,
you're black, black and proud, black power, black this, you're a slave, all
right.
white people are bad. It's traumatic, Taj.
It's
It's
true, man. And
traumatic.
I'd be the one at the cookouts at Christmas with my red, black, and green kufi on. Talk about the white man, and the white man. They be like, "Negro, shut the hell up and eat this chicken. Be quiet." I don't care. I don't care nothing about the white man. We're gonna eat some macaroni and cheese today.
And some chicken and watermelon.
And some chicken, right, right,
Mm,
right. So I had to grow from that. I had to grow
yeah,
from that. And if I ever offended the church or offended any person that was a different nationality, I'm truly sorry. I
yeah,
apologize. I
yeah.
was in. Yep, there you go. There you
Mhm,
go. Love being Nubian. And yep, Rod Hayes, Chief Rod Hayes,
mhm.
excellent, excellent
Oh,
person.
Morris in America, Sharif Ali. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
follow
yeah,
him. He's great. He's great too.
yeah. Yeah, so this thing is more about coming together, but first we got to really realize who we are, because the thing with the Black Power thing, I was always the victim. Always the victim, because I was always looking at somebody. You see, that's because the white man did that, and that's because he did that, and that's because, and that's because. Like, well, what you gonna do? Because all these people talk about how bad the white man is on Sunday, but you go into his job on Monday. How that work? And I understood the passion, but here we are now with Donald Trump in office, and I can't even imagine, Doc, that energy that it must take to be on Facebook all day long, talk about, see, look at the way he ate his food, and look at the way he wears a tie, and why he said that, and why he doing that. I'm gonna tell you what. Anybody that come to my house and owe me some money, and you want to get slick at the mouth, I'm gonna slap the fire out you. Okay? So what he did yesterday with that dude from Ukraine was exactly right. And what the world needed to see was some damn masculine energy. And men, when we at the table and we doing business, it get heated. So what? So what? It's all about, at the end of the day, we're going to get the freaking job done. All is well. And I'm sorry, when you come to somebody's house, you know how they say that thing, do as Romans do. You come with a damn suit on. What you coming with a sweatsuit on? That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. But I digress.
No. Please go on, because we've gotten conditioned to not respect masculine energy. Now we're to the point we want every man to act like a vagina. We want every man to be soft. We want every man to be compassionate. But you can't do business that way. Or can you? You're a man. I don't know.
You can't. Listen, I would say to the people, ain't you tired of somebody smiling in your face and lying with their heart and lying with their tongue?
Yes.
Ain't you? I don't care if somebody say you don't like me. I live down south, but I used to live down south for a lot of years. And there's some pockets of some areas that's a little shaky, but I'd rather somebody say, hey, I don't like you and you don't like me. I'm gonna be on this side of the street and you be over there. Instead of all of this sneaky stuff, you can respect that. So listen, it's time to just speak the truth and stop being a damn victim. And all of that has to do with that Black mindset of somebody always doing something to you. This world is all about contract. You have to agree to something for it to manifest. Nobody's doing anything to you. You got to agree to it. Just like with this whole vaccine thing, with what we're going to. I do not consent. Now, you can do what you want to do, but I don't consent to any of it. There's power in that. I do not consent. So, anyway, I'm sorry I went on the team.
Oh no, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. My God, I'm enjoying this. And sometimes I do understand we want to steer away from heavy topics, but we got to have the discussion. Yeah. We've gotten rid of masculinity. We got people hating each other because of their skin complexion. We got this whole victim narrative. Victim narrative, if you classify it as Black. And I don't even know what. Right. Imagine what people classified as white go through hearing all day long that all your people had slaves and that you're a bad person. I mean, really, when you look at their perspective, what must that be like? You're evil, 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 wicked, 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 wicked,
I had the pleasure of working with some people that are very affluent in the next town over called Darien, Connecticut. And their children were being taught, because you were born in a certain skin color, you were automatically racist. It broke my heart to know that these babies are in school at 6 or 7 years old, are crying because they think they're the devil. Oh my God. And that's that's the school system teaching that mess. And the bottom line is I am so proud to be an American. I'm so blessed to be born here. I'm so blessed that we don't have to eat off the ground and we've all been through some hard times, but damn, I ain't been through no hard times like what you just said, a half an hour ago. So anything I could do to give back, I want to do that. And I know my God has more than enough. And my prayers are, let me be the valve, let me be the hookup. Because when it comes to me, I'll never lack. I'll never lack.
Amen.
So,
And to what you said earlier, Don said, I didn't have any slaves. I didn't even live in that timeline. And this is
there
what,
you go.
Yeah.
There you go, Don J. You don't have to accept that narrative. And it's only the people that accept that narrative. And here's the crazy part. Here is the crazy part. You didn't even check it out for yourself. Somebody could have told you were Spider-Man, and you don't check it out. Who the fool? Don't let people cast spells on you. Don't. Chief Mack, hit that button, guys.
Thank you,
hit
Chief.
that button. Hit that button because this lady deserves it, please.
Thank you.
And we got to stop casting spells on ourselves. Even if you think you from Africa, if you think you had slaves in your family, you think you went through all of that stuff like that. It wasn't exactly like the Roots movie, but go check it out for yourself. I stopped saying that it didn't happen because that's not true. There were things that did happen to us, and our people were brutally, handled in such a way and stuff like that. But it was people that looked like us that had a part of it too.
And some of our white brothers and sisters or Caucasian brothers and sisters were slaves too.
Listen. They prettied it up. You hear me say? They prettied it up by saying an indentured servant. No, they was the slaves. And our Irish brothers and sisters, we were on the plantation. Think of it like Amazon. We was working side by side.
Wow.
And I'm starting to think they must have put something in the water because there ain't no way in hell that you got 400 people working out there. They ain't chained together with one man with a shotgun on a horse, keeping everybody in check.
Right.
So I'm really starting to think that they did some mind control even back then, put something in the water, or we was going to work high or something like that, because I won't believe the spirit in us, the fight in us would sit there year after year, day after day. You ever been to Alabama? You know how hot it is in Alabama.
Oh my God! Yes.
There is nothing in me that will believe that out there in the hottest that damn sun that you're gonna sit there and why? Come on, man. There's something deeper to the story. There's something deeper to the story.
Taj, Chief Mack says the KKK was created by the black nobility, and I heard that too from Rod Hayes, Chief Rod Hayes. The black nobility. Right. Can you tell us who is the black nobility? Do you know?
Those are the original Europeans, right? Those people, the secret societies and all stuff like that. And they came over here, the Brutish Moors, the Bretts, which I learned from my seer. The Bretts, that means contract, so contracted people. Yeah.
And it was our complexion. They were dark. They were brown.
Yeah. Some of them was light skinned, looking like the bars. But it was the majority of them was us, our cousins from across the pond, blending in with us.
So when they say the British came over here or the British, we have in our minds that those are Caucasian people. You're telling me that they were so-called black people and that they are the black nobility behind the scenes, pulling the strings of all this chaos.
Exactly. I mean, with the stories of the Indians, so-called scalping people, that wasn't us. We didn't do stuff like that.
Okay.
We didn't do stuff like that. They would tell those stories to scare the so-called white people, the Irish, to stop them running away, because they would run away off the plantations and come be with us and Big Mama and them. And you know how Big Mama and them, we see them little babies out there, you're going to take them in. You don't give a damn if they purple. You're going to take them in.
Yep.
Okay? So a lot of this stuff about we was raping or we was getting raped and stuff like that. No, we was just living and blending with each other. And when you love, you love.
Right.
And our people, we come from a rainbow of brown anyway. hair texture. So I get a little miffed, when people start talking about, well, you look like an Indian. Well, what did Indian look like? Well, the high cheekbones and the long hair. That's not true. We come from it all. We was getting fly. We was getting fly. 400 or 500 years ago. All you got to do is get some bear grease and put in your hair, and it'll straighten it out like you had a just for me perm. Okay.
Yes.
Just let your soul glow, baby. We was doing that years ago. The Bible says ain't nothing new under the sun, right?
Right.
So we had that technology and all that stuff so long ago.
You stirring up Chief Mack.
Well, bring him on. I know you want to come on in here.
What did he say? What this fool
Come on,
say?
Chief, with your singing self.
Yeah, then I want y'all to talk about look at what he say. Put me in, coach. Yeah.
There's no tomorrow. Throw the damn towel. Come on, coach. He got the eye of the tiger.
And I want you to talk about your music too. So I don't know when to do it. Let me think. So I want to pull up some of your can we pull up your music? I don't want us to get a strike on the channel, or what can we do, a sample? What should we do?
It's on YouTube. It's okay. Available.
It's available?
Yeah. You know what? Pull up Lullaby.
On YouTube?
Yep, you can pull up that one.
Okay. I sent you a link, Chief. Come on through here. Okay. Just put in Lullaby.
Yeah.
Lullaby. Then your name?
Yep.
Taj
Dyami.
Dyami.
No. Yeah.
Okay, Lullaby, Taj Diami. Okay, I see you. I heard the song, but I think you sent it to me. I don't know if I saw it on YouTube. Now your stuff is copywritten, so I have gotten flagged before. But
I don't know what that is, Key, but even the producer of my songs gave you permission and everything like that.
Yeah.
So
Taj sings. You want to tell them a little bit about your music before I start, Taj? Or you want me to start first?
Well, yeah. Well, this particular song, Lullaby, actually was written over 30 years ago. I used to be in a boy band, kind of think like New Edition and stuff like that, called Taylor Made back in Connecticut. And this song, we were going to sing this song. We were working with Kashif. Hold on, y'all. My job calling me. And we were working with Kashif, and this was one of the songs that was going to be recorded, and actually met Whitney and all of that stuff like that. And the group broke up after a while. Whitney almost caused me to drown. She was coming. I was in the pool in the backyard swimming, and I hit my head. I seen all of that hair and everything like that, and I jumped up out the pool. And I was like, I bust my head. And I still got a knot on my head today from Whitney Houston. Thank you, Whitney. Wherever you are. Yeah. But anyway, I always told Robbie, the guy that actually wrote the song, I said, one day I want to do this song. And years went by, and I finally got a chance to record this song. This song was probably it was recorded 3 years ago.
Okay.
So it's called Lullaby. And, ladies, listen to the lyrics. We should have did this for Valentine's Day, but go ahead, Key.
Okay.
All right. I see your eyes, and they tell the story of your heart. Tales of lost loves that have come and gone.
Breaking up.
I realize all of the pain that's still inside. I have a will with tears of love in the lullaby. You can reach for the things you've been dreaming of.
They keep interrupting. It keeps stopping.
It's okay, but
Okay.
they can go check it out if they want to. Thank you for the compliments, everybody.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and put the link in the chat, and I'll put the link in the description section for the Soul family.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. This is beautiful. So you have your own channel, and you also have places where they can purchase your music. Yes.
Yeah, they can go. It's available on Spotify, Apple. All digital. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Scarlett. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Gratitude.
Yes.
So it's available on all digital platforms.
Okay. And now,
and I actually go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna bring Chief on in a minute after you say this. Go ahead.
Yep. I actually shut it down for a minute. I've deactivated my Instagram page because the Most High is doing something within me. So I have to. The stuff that I'm gonna eventually be singing, it can't be R&B. It's got to be from the soul, and so I have to be part of the solution and not the problem. And the lyrics have got to be able to speak to everybody. And it ain't going to be none of this, ooh, girl, I want to get you in the bed and, do this and do that. I have to sing from a higher vibration.
I love that.
I have to sing from a higher vibration. So I don't know what that sounds like yet. I'm thinking like, stuff like, remember that song? Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, brighter.
Woo! Yeah, I remember. Beautiful.
Someday.
Yes, 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 and yes.
Gonna get easier. Someday, brighter.
Yes, yes.
So stuff in that vibration, that's going to be uplifting for the soul. Bring Chief Mack in.
Okay. Come on in, Chief. Come on in the room.
Put me in, Coach. Put me in, Coach.
As long as you got your piano, in the back seat of the car.
I'm gonna have it. Listen, I write music, I sing, and I do it all. Chief do it all, man.
I can't hear you that well, Chief. I can't hear you that well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. I'm going to get back into my music writing. My whole family is musically inclined, so it's just a gift. It's a gift to have that. It's a gift from the Creator. Music is ancient. It's ancient, and that's what the Creator put down in us. Because I don't read music, it's a gift. I hear songs playing in my head, and I make my own music. It's developed in my head already. In my hands at nighttime start playing like I'm playing the piano, and I have to get to a piano right away to create what was snatched out the atmosphere into my brain, and I produce it. So it's just a gift, man, and it's universal. It's what keep me young. Keep me young. But yeah,
listen, man, I love the rendition of "Tender Love." That's one of my favorite songs. And I love it.
Yeah. And I play all of it. I do all the old school songs, play it by ear, and I can lay that whole track down. I did a remix of "Sexual Healing" by Marvin Gaye. I did a remix of a Cameo, just like Candy. I do it all, man. And I produce it with the drum.
See, I'm gonna share something with you, brother. The Creator know who to give gifts to with instruments. Because if I could play an instrument, I might have about 50 babies by now. So he know. Back to my backsliding days, I was no good. It's saying the devil and telling the truth. I'd have been like Terrence Howard playing that guitar around the back of my hand. Yeah, that would have been me.
My dad is from Mississippi. And B.B. King was my dad, like cousin. So I play blues, R&B, neo soul. But you can take each song and you can put whatever words. Blues is nothing but telling what your heart is. R&B is just a new form of blues that's speaking from your heart. I don't have to be sexual. It don't have to be sexual, you know, just speak from your heart. And so you speak from your heart with music and a high vibration. That's one of the highest vibrations is music, man. It's universal. So
Well,
for me, that's how I get high. That's how I take a lot of cocaine. It's my music.
Well, if we could ever do something together, I would be honored. I would be honored to do something.
It is done. I was gonna make a jazz album called Something to Drink To. It's called Something to Drink
And look, I can play the triangle thing. That's what I can do.
Hey, it's done, man. It's done. It's done. It's a done thing. We're gonna get together once we get our wealth and we can get together, man, and do what makes us happy, man. And that's all we desire. Do what makes us happy in a righteous way. In a righteous way.
I love it.
I'm gonna have me a 7-bedroom mansion, and I'm gonna have me a black room and a white room with a white lacquer and a black lacquer. It's gonna be called Ebony and Ivory.
Man, do your thing.
And I'm gonna go in there and tickle that ivory, man. And it's gonna echo across the whole house, man. I'm gonna have the studio set up, the weight room, the pool, all of that, man.
I'm gonna have me a 200-gallon fish tank with purple seahorses in it. Okay.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, and
that's what I'm gonna have.
I'm gonna have a rainbow absorbing the fish in that water, man.
If you see me walking a zebra down the street, just mind your business. It's all is well.
Because I'm gonna have my ostrich walking down the street. Man,
there you go.
I'm an exotic. I'm gonna have
mind your business.
I'm an animal lover. They communicate with me. Animals. I had a pet butterfly as a child.
Wow.
My mom remembered that the butterfly was on my shoulder and I would walk with it. And I'm gonna tell you, I have a picture and a video that I'm gonna post on my YouTube page of a moth about 4 or 5 months ago. I was coming out the house and a moth just flew on my shoulder. So what's that? He flew on my shoulder and then he didn't move. So I said, I took my phone out and I said, and I recorded. That little critter turned around with those little beady black eyes and looked me dead in the face.
Wow.
And I have a picture and a video, and that's the truth. Chief Mack do not lie. And he was on my shoulder.
Wow.
And I've had, over the years, I've had butterflies flying around everybody, and I had my hand out, and it flew on. I had it twice, flew on this index finger in front of everybody. So I know it's something different about me. I've had animals trying to break free from their owners, dogs, trying to get to me. I have children turn around, look at me like I got boogers in my nose. I'm like, what the hell are they looking at? So I was eating one time, a little girl was turning around watching me. I'm eating food, and I felt somebody watching me. And a little baby around about 1 year old or 2 staring me dead in the face. I'm like, so children see frequencies.
Yes.
Animals see frequencies. Insects see frequencies. The reason we don't see things the way we were born to see is because of the shots. It's to rob us from our inheritance spiritually, physically, emotionally, and financially. We come into this world as a free man and woman. The first thing they do is shoot us to keep the star seeds from ascending.
Chief, would you say also that we're taught fear and we're taught to lie? And that's why we get disconnected?
That's the lowest vibrations. Fear.
Right.
And it lies because that's the lowest vibration. Because you put a person in fear. That's why religion teaches fear. Religion is entrapment. It teaches, because why is that? In religion, they teach you all this faith that people were supposed to have. They didn't have it in 2020. The needle became their Lord and Savior. I'm sorry.
He said something right there. He said a whole lot right there. Wow.
Say it again. And my heart goes out to people. But religion belongs to the adversary, Lucifer. And they've been priming people over the years with this fake faith. So much to the point when they came out in 2020, and that's when your faith was there to be tested. It was tested and you failed. And the churches, they pushed fear. And when you were presented to use your faith, you folded. You were supposed to use your faith, not worry about having a job or having a place to stay. You were supposed to use your fear and use that faith. And the faith didn't have any works to it. And a lot of people did things back then that some of them are not here today.
Yeah.
And some of them are having. I got a lot of pushback. I was silent my voice. I was one of the few people who was going out there crying out when people were. I call it the They was getting slaughtered. It was painful for me to see people in line to be slaughtered. It was painful, and I went out there and cried out, telling people, "Please don't do it. Please don't do it." I was out there, man, in the thick of things, crying out, in the hopes that I was heard. I was talked about, persecuted, ridiculed, but I knew that it seemed like from 2020 to 25, it seemed like that just took 2 years. Yeah. From 2020 to 25, it happened so fast. I don't even really know how we got to 2025 because it happened so fast.
It did. It did.
It happened so fast. And I've had some beautiful friends of mine that are not here today in my hometown, Gary, Indiana. And I found out that a lot of women in Gary, Indiana are not saying anything, but I was told by a friend of mine that we went to the same church together, Elder M.C. Bennett in Gary, Indiana. It was the biggest church back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, 60s and 70s. That most of the women in my and one thing we got to realize, guys, as a people, we should realize that certain shots, they would send out certain shots in certain areas. They were different. They were different. That package, okay, we're gonna send this in this particular area code, a zip code. We're gonna make this. We're gonna send this batch there, and this batch going this area. It's not gonna have. It's just gonna be the placebo, but not the poison. Because we have to do that because we know that these people, monkey see, monkey do. So if we act like we're taking it, and they see that we're taking it, and don't realize that we send the poison to them, and we're gonna act like we took it, and this is what they're doing, because they had to do that before the wealth transfer. They had to do it before the wealth transfer, and this is no hate speech to anybody else. You know, it's just put out the facts, and this is for entertainment purposes. They had to make us think like I just made a post today on my page. I went to the mall about a year and a half ago, and I saw at LA Fitness and at the so-called black malls in the inner city of Atlanta, they have an AIDS truck out there, so-called testing people for HIV. But they're not in any other stores and predominantly malls. They're only in the black neighborhood, as if so-called black folks are the only folks having sex or being intimate with each other.
Right.
But I know that AIDS truck, they're giving people AIDS. We got to wake up and we got to wise up.
Hold on, family. Before y'all go further, Love being Nubian. I need you to connect your mic and cam before I add you. Love being Nubian is the moderator of the chat, and she's a singer as well. And so she wanted to connect with you guys. Love being Nubian, your device is not connected, sister. You need to connect your device, and then when you connect it, I'll bring you in, sis. I see you in the back office, but I can't connect you until the device is connected, sister. Also, I want to say I really want to talk to somebody tonight. I want somebody to join a conversation that is an immigrant, or you work with the immigrants. I want to hear the other side of the immigration story. That's just me. I just want to hear it. Okay, so yes.
Hey, Pruitt, can I share one thing?
Absolutely.
It brought back to my remembrance, going back to the vaccines and things. Do you know, when I was in 7th grade, I was the very last person in the whole city to get vaccinated?
No.
I did not want to get vaccinated. And I don't know what it was. It was probably the ancestors, but I fought it and I fought it and I fought it.
As a
And
child?
as a child, this 7th grade, I was the last person.
You're chosen. That takes me
Mm.
back to a story at the elementary school I went to in Gary, Indiana, called Ivanhoe, which is closed and shut down right now. They tore it down. We were, you know, a lot of things they were doing back then. They didn't even tell the parents that they were giving people shots, man. They didn't even tell the parents, man.
Wow.
It was the nurse in the school.
They didn't even tell the
It was
parents.
the nurse in the school doing
this.
it.
I was in this was like 1974, 75. I can recall being in line. It was maybe like we were in line to get shots. And I can recall just being so scared and nervous as a 5 or 6 year old child. And I had one guy, he was trying to act tough. He said, I ain't gonna cry. I'm tough, I ain't gonna cry. And he was like maybe 5 or 6 people ahead of me. It was like maybe 70 of us in line. We were going up like cattle. And when he went there, I heard him scream like somebody was chopping his head off. I said, I'm not getting that shot. And I'm a quick thinker. As a child, about 5 or 6 years old, I was doing some critical thinking. I said, what can I do? What can I do to get out of this situation? I was nervous. I was like maybe the 4th person up in line. I was panicking as a child. I said, I'm gonna tell him I gotta use the bathroom. And I was like, I gotta pee. I said, I gotta pee. She said, go ahead and go. And I went in that bathroom and stood on top of that toilet and camped out there for a while.
Wow.
And didn't get that shot.
Wow.
And that shot right there could have been a shot that if the child survived a pineal gland. To the point that your mind your computer, which is your brain, can elevate to a certain level. It can't compute. And that's what a lot of people are that's been turned over to a strong delusion and a reprobated mind. Their minds can't go to the next level. It crashes out. When they are overwhelmed with this kind of information, they just can't handle it. So they're captive. They become useless feeders on the land.
I tell you, the end of my story, I eventually had to get it because they called my mother. She wouldn't even come off her job. She was on the phone and she said, don't let me come down there.
Wow.
And so, you know how mothers do.
Yes.
And so she's like, don't let me come down. So I had to eventually give in. So hopefully, the Creator has protected me. I know He's protected me thus far, but,
Hey, Taj, I understand why you did it because moms didn't play, did she?
They'll kill you dead.
Mom was going to come to the school and embarrass you, wasn't she? Because my mama embarrassed me when I was in kindergarten and they gave us 3 cookies and a milk. But I'm greedy, I'm hungry. So I told the lady that I didn't have my 3 cookies. And so she gave me 3 more cookies and they found out I lied. And they called my mom when I was sitting on my little rug in the middle of the floor, and she came up there and suplexed me and embarrassed me in front of everybody.
Listen, I would have much rather got beat by my father because men know their strength, right?
Yes.
You get that tap and go on about your business. Mamas is crazy. Mamas is crazy. You ain't never got beat. You got beat with the belt buckle part.
Come on, man. Listen, how about an ironing cord? I still got a Nike sign on my back from an ironing cord 35 years ago. And when I went to basketball practice, they're like, damn, what's that? I had that line said, that's a Nike. I got a tattoo of a Nike sign on my back. And my mom, Taj, you better not lie. Taj, you's funny, man.
Hold on. Somebody said they hear some background noise. I don't know who that was.
My mom hit me. Listen, our parents abused us. They should be just getting out of prison 10 years ago. But
I told my mother I'm gonna call ICE on her for all sweet.
Listen, When I was young, I was like a little fan tenderoni. I had muscles everywhere. I turned 14 years old. All of a sudden, my body blew. I was like, bam! I had triceps and biceps and thighs, and I was like 3% body fat. I was a walking specimen. So this new girl moved on the block named Tanya, and Tanya was built like a stallion. Tanya was right. So I never really chased women. So Tanya's homed in on me. She said, "Who is this guy? He ain't all on me like the rest of the guys. Who is he?" So she homed in on me. So she had me over there. I had my little tank top shirt on with my little baby all on. And Tanya had me all pressed up against her. Mind you, my older sister had a baby at 16. And my mom said, after raising all these children, none of y'all little critters are gonna bring another damn baby in this house for me to raise, because I'm done. I'll raise 10 of y'all. And I see about you. And if you think you don't go out there and bring another baby in this house because your older sister did so, you got another thing coming.
No,
so
right.
I'm out there with Tanya. Tanya all up pressed against me. And so my mom had a white station wagon, all white, on our block. She drove by like she was doing a drive-by in slow motion. She was looking for her children. My mom in Gary, Indiana. And Gary, Indiana was the murder capital of the whole United States back when the drug epidemic happened. And my mom and dad said, we're not losing none of our children. However we gonna have to do it in an orthodox way, they did it. So my mom drove past in that station wagon, and I started sweating. I took a deep breath. And Tanya, I said, I ain't moving, because I ain't. So all of a sudden, I'm over there with Tanya chilling. And 5 minutes later, I started hearing it. Back then in the 80s, everybody was playing catch one, catch all. We were all out in the streets having a good time. We didn't have no Nintendo, all those games. We were even ride the bikes, playing catch one, catch all, tag man with the football. Oh, we were dry hunching, so.
Hide and go get it. I'm sorry, Doc. You don't know. See, that kid was a good girl. She didn't know nothing about. She had to be in the house. We was out there playing hide and go get it.
He's so funny, man.
Didn't know what we was getting, but we was hide and go get it.
Listen, that's so silly. Listen, man. All of a sudden, I started hearing ooh ah. It was my mom walking up the block with a baseball bat in her hand. She had a yellow brand new baseball bat in her hand. And she came up and walked up to me, and she punched me and hit me, and she was grabbing on me, yanking on me, and then I'm muscular, so she snatched my shirt. My shirt hanging all off.
Looking like the Hulk.
She took the baseball bat and was bam, beat me with it, pop, pop, and I touched her real hard, and the baseball bat broke half and a half, pop, and she looked at it, so she started popping upside the head, pop, 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 and all around my mom was doing that, she was looking Tanya right in the face.
Wow.
Mothers are crazy.
I said that plenty of times. My dad did. My mom had an unorthodox way that she had to raise her children in the main streets of Gary, Indiana, not to become a byproduct on drugs. Because that girl Tanya ended up being on drugs in the neighborhood turnaround girl.
Oh my God.
A lot of people end up dying on drugs. And my mom and dad said, we are whatever I need to do. So when she did that, now that I'm older, I really understand it.
Right.
She had to make that girl Tanya think she was crazy. Enough to stay the hell away from my son, because I see in the future that you're going to give him a baby that you're going to stress him the hell out on child support, and you ain't going to do that to mine. So this how crazy I am, little girl. Stay the hell away from my son, because you ain't going to tear him down. And I didn't have a baby until I almost turned 40 years old.
Wow. You were so scared. You were grown.
Another time, my mom, a neighbor. Listen, don't judge Chief. I'm gonna tell y'all, don't judge me too hard. So
hold on, Chief. Hold on. I hear a lot of background noise. I don't know where it's coming from.
Hold on, can you hear me?
I can barely hear you, and I hear this noise.
Hold on.
Is it me?
Can y'all hear me now?
Talk again.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can y'all hear? Wait, can y'all say something, Chief?
I mean, can you guys hear me now? Taj.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep, I can hear you.
They saying it sound like water.
Let me get
You're
let me come off these
yeah,
headphones. I don't know why I did
staticky.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now y'all should be able to hear me.
That's much better.
Yeah, especially the headphones.
Okay.
Man, listen, let me tell this story, and don't judge me too hard. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Oh no, go ahead and tell the story. I'm gonna give me some
real
water,
quick.
but I can hear it. Huh?
Okay, real quick. So I was over a neighbor house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kid, you look too excited, like you can't wait till we finish the story. Don't.
I gotta use the bathroom, but I'm trying to hear the story.
Okay, anyway, real quick. Listen, I was over a neighbor house. Her daughter was in the bed, and we ended up dry hunching.
Wait, what's dry hunching?
Yeah,
rubbing it together.
So her sister called us, and she said, "Ooh, I'm telling Sister McGrone. I'm telling Sister McGrone." I said, "Why the hell you gonna do that shit right there?" So she went and tell my mom. My mom was crazy. So she said, my dad was like, well, she hitting all on me. So I'm too big for her to handle. She said, I'm telling Charles. My dad come home and she all in his face. He really don't want to hear because he's trying to get home, rest, and eat and rest. Yeah. So she worries him to death to the point, he said, boy, get up there and go in my room. He said, get up there and go in my room right now. I was so nervous and scared because Brother McGrone had hands bigger than mine. This was one strong man.
Wow. So dry hunching, y'all was rubbing on each other with fully clothes, like you doing it.
You know what dry hunching is.
But everybody might not know.
Can we have the Webster's dictionary, the Webster definition of dry humping?
The original contraceptive. Listen, so she worries my dad. My dad said, boy, get up there and go in my room right now. I felt so scared and hopeless. I didn't even want to be myself. I just wanted to pass out. He said, get in there, go in that room right now, boy. And he shut that door behind me. And I was like, oh, my God. This man's, oh, my God, man, he going to tear me up. Then he looked at me. My mom shut that door, and he closed the door. She was so happy, like, Charles going to show him. My dad shut that door. He shut that door.
Did he laugh?
And he took that long black belt off. He said, come here, boy. And he looked like this. He said, you know how you fold the belt in half and you do like, and he said, swap like you hit somebody? He said, yeah. He said, I'm going to take this belt. And when I swap it like that, I want you to scream like I'm hitting you. He said, but boy, he said, how was it? I said, he said, how was it, son? Because you want to know why my dad said that? So he did that. Oh, Dad! Oh, Dad! And we were both laughing. Oh, Dad! Dad, I'm so sorry. I want to do it again. And he was like, my mom at the door, like the ears, like, get him, Charles. We want to bang it out. And nothing to anybody of any persuasion or anything like that. But my dad just was proud to know that his son didn't want to go back with other men.
Wow.
He was just happy to know that he had a son that's going to bring his bloodline in.
A woman wouldn't understand that.
And a woman would not understand that.
No.
I thank the Creator that I had a dad prevalent in my life enough to give me a healthy level of fear, which got me here today, get ready to be 54 years old. Because young men don't get a healthy level of fear from their mom. They get it from their dad.
Wow.
He teaches them boundaries. This is why they had to take the man out the house. Because the woman don't teach the son boundary. She makes excuses for him and she babies him.
Right. You're absolutely right.
And we would never allow our kids to if you know your son is masturbating or dry hunching or looking at naked women in the magazine, like the first thing we would be like, oh my God, like I'm that type of mother. What are you doing? Instead of thinking at least he likes women. I would never think like that.
Yeah, my dad, yeah.
Wow. Listen, my kid, I knew at 4 years old walking them in that stroller during the mall. Kid, I'm pushing them through the stroller through the mall. Now he had to think for Latino women. I don't know if it's still like that, but he would be in the stroller at 2-3 years ago, like that.
He's an old soul.
Listen, all them fine women would be like, "Oh, Tito, he's so cute." He used to bring them in, boy. I'd be like, "Right on, bro." He would be blowing kisses, and he's a handsome dude too. He really got the nerve to have dimples and everything. I tell him every day I'm gonna lock him up in the closet till he's 33 years old, like Jesus. He ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere. Listen, y'all. Listen. Divine Hazel said, "White mother almost killed me 3 times."
Listen, when we start talking about contraceptives and ignorance and stuff like that, do you know amongst my friends when I was in 6th grade, I thought if you put Vaseline on it, the girl wouldn't get pregnant.
What?
That was funny.
And that's just kids talking amongst each other, man.
Yeah,
and listen, it was crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Parent it's definitely unique, man. Parenting. That's why my daughter, I have such a good understanding, and I want her to be able to communicate with me on anything. And she's 14 years old. I mean, she's beautiful, man. She's shaped like me at the top, small waist and wide shoulders. She got big hands, and she's shaped like her mom at the bottom. And my child is an excellent musician right now. My child's a musician. I'm gonna post something. She plays the piano because I know she got the best of me and her mom in her. And so she's at the age right now where I know she likes boys. She likes boys. That's a good thing. But
listen, hey, somewhere down the line we might have a royal wedding. I got a 14-year-old. So
listen, we're gonna have to do that, brother. And I'm glad you brought that up.
I believe in it.
This is what we're gonna have to go back to we did in the old days, because some of them, I told my daughter, I said, baby, I said, now I know I'm glad you like boys. I said, but you're gonna have to be thinking, because some of them boys have been vaccinated. And I said, you gotta think about that. And so I was already thinking, you beat me to it, that the soul tribe, we're gonna have to find, we're a family. And we know that our children think a certain way, and we are raising our children a certain way. And unfortunately, these public high schools, these children, the school, the television is raising them. These celebrities are raising them. They're on ecstasy. They are popping pills. They're smoking this weed that's laced with all God knows what. And their minds just warped. And my daughter is in that. So I'm doing what I got to do right now so I can put her in a private school of music or something, because the children in the school, my daughter's almost like she's by herself. She hangs out by herself. She's a very beautiful girl. And in fact, my daughter's name is Beautiful.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
Yeah, she's
got you a princess.
Beautiful girl, inside out. You know, I want her to be as beautiful inside. But we're going to definitely talk, because we have children, and we are priming our children to the point that a regular carnal-minded child just won't cut it, man.
They won't cut it. And I talked to them about these things. I said, please, just I'll pick you out somebody nice. I swear for God, I will. You know, please just don't pop up with somebody, you know, because, you know, back in the day, even, you know, grandmama and them, you couldn't just bring nobody to the house. They'd be like, who they daddy? Who they mama and them? There was a vetting system. You couldn't just, I wish you would turn up, talk about this my boyfriend or this my girlfriend. You couldn't do that.
Look, my marriage was arranged by my husband's mother and the women in the church. They were like, your mama taught you to be a virgin. You know how to cook. You know how to clean. Your grandmama did that. Your mama's strict. Your daddy had his issues, but you know who he is. He's in your life. My mother-in-law then was just a woman in the church. She was like, you're going to marry my son.
Wow.
And people around us was like, don't be doing that. Don't believe in, you don't do that. But when the adults say you're the good person for you. And you know what I'm saying? And we're going to prime y'all for each other. What else do you know? You fall in love. We did.
I believe more so now in arranged marriages because we are in desperate times, and it's going to take hitting the reset button on this thing called marriage and relationships. Because, the past 40, 50 years, people have just been doing whatever, however, and it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. And it's evident everywhere you look. People just have a disdain for marriage now.
I know.
How is it that you don't mind having 3 or 4 children, but getting married? Oh, damn, that's just too much. I can't do that.
And Taj, let me add this real quick. When you look at 100 to 150 years ago, most things that are happening right now, we didn't do that back then. We didn't get married like we did now. We didn't
right.
When you were intimate with somebody, that's the soul. There was common law marriage. It was known as common law without you getting married. So we're not so much on you're going to get married, you got to walk down the aisle and jump over. All that stuff is ritualistic. It's ritualistic. You can meet somebody and say, we are, because you could be married and not committed.
Whoa.
Right.
And you can be committed.
Right.
You can be married and not committed. And you can be committed and not married.
Okay.
So when you get with somebody, you go to the creator. You don't have to go to a judge.
You're absolutely right.
You go to the creator.
You're absolutely right.
And you have that union amongst each other. And there's an understanding that you have amongst each other as man and woman that committed. However it's going to go, you have that commitment to each other. Whether it's in a multi-marriage or a singular marriage, that's what we did back in the days. When it said to be fruitful and multiply, we were able to be multiplied because there were men, and even in the Bible talks about that. But why?
What, polygyny? They have more than one wife? Is that what you're talking about?
It's not so much about having more than one wife. It's about building a community fast and quick and vast.
Whoa. Okay.
Because back then,
know what?
You had as many babies as the land you have. So I wanted to say this real quick, Brother Taj. When you
hold your thought, Brother Taj. Go ahead.
When you were saying that it was white and black people working the cotton fields, the so-called black people working the field, they owned it. Okay?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
So I had to jump in and play double just to jump in real quick because we owned the land. So we were working what belonged to us. Am I correct? Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct. So and they were helping out.
So when I say the whole slave narrative was a stretch because roots never happened. That's a commercialized allegory. It never happened.
Right.
Like the transatlantic slave story never happened. It was called the Middle Passages. Then they later changed it to the transatlantic slave story. They just make up shit to throw us off that we were already here. Chief Mack is loaded with this information, and I want the people to know the truth. So we own the land because when you do your genealogy, you'll find out that there's thousands of acres of land that's entrusted by our great parents. That certain people, if you do a particular thing, you can get that land back. So how do we come on slave ship when we got land that's entrusted in us?
Thank you. Hold on.
I always wondered this. How you find dinosaur bones from 60 million years ago, but you can't find one damn slave ship?
Of course.
How is that possible?
I know the only one you can find is sketched up.
Yeah, the diagram.
Yeah, it's sketched up. So
the diagram with no food, no water, just people all eat, and we ran with that for years.
But when they teach this in your schools, your churches, and the media outlets, then people think that's true and that's law. They think it's true, but we just want to know the truth. I would talk to a white gentleman, a guy about 5 years ago, and he told me, I was telling about that America's Egypt. He said, "Man, you know what?" He said that out here in the country and at the lakes and the rivers in Georgia, these old rivers and lakes, he said that my granddad would take me out there, and he said, you know what we found out there? Camels.
I heard that. I heard
Because
that.
all of the animals were here, all the animals in the zoos were here already, guys. They just put them in the zoos.
Right.
They were here
Right.
already. You never heard them bringing a whole bunch of lions and tigers on the plane. Some of them animals you can't even put on the plane. They're died. They just stress them out. You can't put them on the boat.
Right.
Because they were here already. And in fact, the zoo in Memphis, Tennessee is actually an ancient Tartarian structure that they turned into a zoo. If you go to the zoo in Memphis, you see it look like like Egypt. They turned it to a zoo, like they're doing with all the things here.
Wow.
So this is the land. This is the Holy Land. This is Egypt, Kemet, Morocco, the state of Georgia. It's actually the country Georgia. And Atlanta is Atlantis. That's why you got pyramids all around. In every place that people think of landfills, those are pyramids.
Hold on, listen to this. Hold on, listen to this. Jay Ashanti Farland says, Alex Haley was one of my fiance's best friends. The slave trade was fabrication.
Listen, that brother, he did a lot of damage to a lot of people, man.
He's the one that came up with the movie Roots that said that his people were enslaved and they came from Africa, and then everybody bought into that story. Go ahead, Brother Taj. I'm going to turn it.
And it was plagiarized.
It was plagiarized.
Listen, I can remember going to a Baptist church, my grandmama and them church, and I remember one of the elders named his children Kizzy and Kunta Kinte. Do you know them kids? When them kids got old enough, they grew up, they changed their damn name.
Name your child after some fictitious slaves.
Kunta and Kizzy. He named his son and daughter Kunta and Kizzy.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's dirty. That's crazy work, right?
It's crazy work. And listen, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Hold on 1 minute, Taj. You were going to say something about marriage when Chief was mentioning about arranged marriages, I think, or something about marriage.
You know, I like to refer to it a lot of times now as having a covenant, having a holy covenant instead of saying marriage, because the world has took their word and it really don't mean nothing. But something about the energy behind having a covenant. And that's what, you know, with the creator and with that other person, you know, that threefold cord, you know, that brings it all together, and it puts the seriousness back into that thing. You know, we got a covenant.
And you know, there was a political person, I think his name was somebody Johnson, that was going to be sworn in. I looked him up a long time, about a year ago, and there's somebody, I can't remember what it is. Is it Mike Johnson? He has a covenant marriage, and I looked it up in the covenant. Yeah, it's completely different from the regular marriage. So, to your point, a covenant is an agreement.
Yeah,
right.
Between
what is an agreement? An understanding.
Right. Let's get.
That's why I say you have to have that. This agreement is an understanding, and that understanding is balance. And that's what we don't have. Like, we don't have balance. They came in there and they destroyed balance, understanding, and agreement with us, so that they can come in there and kidnap the children. That's why in Atlanta back in the 80s, like the mid 80s, early 70s, the late 70s and early 80s, in Atlanta, Georgia, there's a story out there where these young so-called black boys were coming up missing or sexually abused. They were dead. And they were like between the ages of like 11 to 12 to 15 to 16, in between that age. And so they were trying to say, oh, it was the Ku Klux Klan, while it was just young black boys missing. But what they didn't tell nobody when I dug deep into the story, that every last one of those young men, testicle was missing.
Wow.
What was happening, guys, is that in the prison system, the reason they had the melanated man packed in the prison, because this is how they were getting they were taking body organs, and they were taking a certain hormone that's prevalent in men in the prison system. They were taking a hormone that they had, but when tuberculosis increased in the prison system, they went to the streets, and they was taking when these young men hit puberty. This particular, they said it's at its highest form when they're between this age other than getting it from men in prison. And then the tuberculosis picked up. They said, well, they took to the streets, and they found that these young men testicles were removed, and it's a certain hormone that's at its peak in between puberty in these young men, and that's why they were unaliving these young men and taking their testicles. So what they did, they said we got to put a fall guy in place. And that's what Wayne Gracie, the guy, they used him, the Lutz fall guy. And I'm gonna tell you, he's an agent, but they had to put somebody there for everybody to blame, so they can kill that, unalive that story, so the story can go away. They had to make a fall guy.
Was he the one dressing up like a clown, and had so-called
the little short guy with the glasses with the afro?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
He was an agent that they created to blame the story on, so they can watch the story up. They can just clear the story up because people were angry, and they were taking these young black boys from the hood and the ghettos who didn't have a man around to protect them, and they were trying to find out how would these boys come up missing when they didn't see nobody, because they had agents in the community who were getting paid to do that.
Wow.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Do you hear me? See, this is why I watch everybody. It was our own people who would get these boys and put them out there for these people to get and being paid off.
Wow.
They were trying to find out how it was happening, but that's the only way it could happen.
Can I address one thing with the Kunta and the Kizzy thing? And somebody put in there, they have a niece named Kizzy. No disrespect to nobody. Actually, what my research says, Kizzy's actually an American Indian name, an Aboriginal name here.
What?
I forgot what it means, but the spirit of why I was saying that is that movie had caused us to move in a direction of taking us off the land and having pride somewhere else to a whole fictional story. So anybody that has any Kizzies or anybody Kuntas in their family, totally no disrespect. I was just talking about that one particular incident because I knew that person personally, and I know they got that when they watched that movie. That's what inspired them to name their children that.
Yeah.
So,
just like Wakanda, they got us thinking Wakanda's in Africa, and that was actually one of our names here in America. Wakanda was in America.
Right. It's out in the Midwest or something, right?
Wakanda? Yes.
And can I add this, guys? And the truth shall set you free. And it's no disrespect to any other nation or race of people in here. We love you guys.
Absolutely.
Because it's your frequency. This is no hate speak to you.
Absolutely.
Chief Mack is a loving guy. I love anybody who got love for me. And unfortunately, I'm gonna let you guys know, I have my own people that have treated me worse than any other race of people. Okay, then, so let's get that right. Okay, most so-called white folks are so loving and respectful because they have been taught that they're loving and respectful. They don't want any chaos like that. So I get along well with any other race. I can talk to any and everybody. I'm a very intelligent guy. I'm a really funny guy. On any level you want to talk to, I can get down there and talk to you on that level. And so I'm sorry to say that I've been hurt by my own people. I've been ostracized, talked about, ridiculed, persecuted, defamed, mocked by the people who were supposed to protect me the most, have been hurting me the most. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. Okay, so don't feel bad. Anybody that's in the different races in here, I've talked to all kind of different people of different races worldwide, and they love to talk to me, and I love to talk to them because I'm a very resourceful man. I know how to get along with any and everybody. So when we talk about our story, guys, you should be happy because you should want to know the truth. And the truth is, another thing is that the names that we have are indigenous names. We didn't take on nobody's name. People took on our names, and when people took on our names, that's how they were able to get our resources that belong to us. So all the stuff that we didn't know how to read, and we took on other people's names. No, other people took on our names. So we have, these are old indigenous and Taj's Indian names. My last name McGrone. I have Youngs, Jackson. Those are indigenous. Williamsons, Johnson. Those are names that go way back that we had, and we didn't get those names from anybody else.
Yeah, they lied and said all of our last names came from the slave master. I remember being taught that in school. No, absolutely not. It did not. Go ahead.
If you didn't know that, now you know.
Now you know. Go ahead, brother Taj.
And this is how they were able to get the land.
Yes.
I would really like to know, and I'm curious, after George Washington, how many so-called white people are named Washington? I ain't never met any. Or Lincoln.
Because Washington actually is
Washita,
which is an Aboriginal people, an Indian name, Indian people. The Washita.
Right. Or Jenkins or any of those names like that. You know, it's like you just don't find those people. So what happened to his bloodline after he passed away? Why that name never carried on with so-called white people? Or I could be wrong. I don't know. I've never met anybody that name. So
yeah, in fact, the root story that Alex Haley produced, saying all his people came from, Africa and they were slaves, blah, 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 was stolen from a Caucasian man whose name was Harold Corlander.
It was plagiarized.
Harold Corlander sued Alice Haley in court and said he plagiarized his characters from Harold Corlander's book called The African. And he won his case against Alex Haley. The slavery narrative is fabrication for the most part, I would say.
So guys, let me tell you something. This is a beautiful history lesson, a true lesson. And you guys should be awesome that you get this type of real facts and information, because everything that has been pushed on the masses, when it said that we are in the age of Aquarius, the Great Awakening, that means that everything that you have been taught up until now has been lies. I'm sorry. And if you can't handle that, then just know that you have been turned over to a strong delusion or reprobated mindset. It said that there was going to be a great awakening. A great awakening means get rid of the old. Everything you have been taught up until now has been a lie to take you away from your history, heritage, identity, culture, and your inheritance. That was the whole purpose of giving you religion, education, politics, entertainment. The whole point was to have you too dizzy and busy to focus on your inheritance and who you are. But the dry bones were written, the chosen ones, to come together. To wake up those sleeping giants who were in a maze. The sleeping giants have woke up and rubbed their eyes, man. The dry bones are coming together, man. And we are at that stage. It is a beautiful thing. And listen, when the dry bones come together right now, then we bring righteousness amongst everybody, not just our people, but
hold on, Chief. Hold on 1 minute. Excuse me. They're saying that your sound is really low compared to everybody else. And while you're adjusting that, Taj was going to jump in and say something.
Well, I'll fix that right quick.
Okay.
I think you got to come closer to the mic. But what I was going to say is this. I don't care if you turquoise with a doodle brown dot on your head. If you going into the 5D, I love you. That's it.
Yes.
I love you. You know, if we can meet in that dimension on that vibration, I love you. It don't matter to me. So,
no doubt.
Chief, I think you got to come closer to the mic.
Can you hear me?
That's what it is.
Yes. And notice that Donald Trump, at first I was like, why they got to choose Obama, a brown man, to do so much bad, and then choose Donald Trump, who's not a brown man, to rescue the people, so to speak.
I'm gonna make y'all laugh real quick.
Okay.
Didn't Elvis Presley love him some black folks?
Yes.
Yes, he did.
That's why Donald Trump loved black folks. I'll rest my case.
Listen.
Huh? You hear me?
I don't know about y'all, but Donald Trump, has had the black experience.
Whoa, for real.
You want a black president? You wanted a black president? You got him.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Taj? He had a black experience. Hold on.
I just said something, and it went over everybody's head. I have a picture with Elvis Presley with some black folks with their Indian attire on.
Wow.
Yeah,
I got that post with Elvis Presley with some young black teenagers who had their feathers on and all that.
No.
So rumor is that Elvis Presley's new character is Donald Trump. And so Donald Trump is talking about the Indians today. Just like Donald Trump got that good hair like Elvis Presley. It's just great right now. So they're saying that Donald Trump is Elvis Presley's new character. So now that Elvis Presley, Donald Trump talks, he likes the black people. He's talking about the Indians. They don't look like Indians to me because Elvis knew who the real Indians was. So what Donald Trump know who the real Indians, because they're the same people. I'm sorry.
Wow. Go ahead,
listen, at this point, it's all bets is off, and I'm just prepared for it all. Mm-hmm. I'm just prepared for it all, and everything is everything.
What do you mean by Trump had the black experience, Taj?
Well, so-called black people being locked up, falsely accused, all that stuff like that, and then he got somebody working for him with 13 baby mamas. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
Oh my God.
Come on. Trump got 2 baby mamas, right?
Yeah. Two or 3. I know he had 3 wives. He got 2 baby mamas. Oh, he got 2 baby mamas outside of the wives?
I think he was married 2 or 3 times, but I know he had children from two sets of relationships.
And he had a black girlfriend.
And he had a sister. He had a sister. Hooked up with a sister.
Wow.
Come on. So there go your black president. And what we know about that word black? It means bleak,
blank, blanco. Don says, I don't know, but every 4 years they tell us to hate each other. I still don't know why I should hate another American. If
nothing for nothing, why we gotta hate Americans?
Hey John,
crazy.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
Come over and you can eat some of my fried chicken. I eat some of your potato salad with raisins in it.
They're talking to Don. Oh my God, Don. No, they didn't. Don, they try to say that all Caucasians have potato salad with raisins in it. Where's that come from?
I'm just joking.
Like they say we all like chicken, and
I chicken.
I don't eat chicken anymore, but that was the hardest thing to give up as when I transitioned to vegetarianism, because I would tear up some chicken and watermelon. I got some in my refrigerator right now, so that might be some truth to that.
Listen, I almost had to give up my indigenous card because I can't do okra. I don't give a damn who cook it. I don't like okra. I don't like it.
Man, I can't. Oh, really like somebody's nose running.
It's
runny nose. I can't do it, man. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't.
I can't do okra, even if it's fried hard.
My grandma
I don't care when it.
With hot sauce.
If I had to eat that every day, I'd be skinny. I swear I'd be skinny.
Jamie said that I love okra.
Rock on, player, because I can't.
More for you, because I ain't eating it.
Supreme Consciousness says the deep state is going to tell you that Trump is bad coming from any media's mouth.
Exactly. I had to get to, I had to pull myself together. I never disliked Donald Trump because, living in New York and stuff like that, he's always been around. But at what point do you ask yourself, if everybody is moving in one direction, it can't be good? Why everybody hate this one daggone man? And when I ask the people that look like me, especially right now with this second term, in the last, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, what has he done to you personally with any bill that he signed that's affected your life that much? Nobody's got an answer. Nobody's got. What did he do to you personally? Your personal story. Don't talk about your cousin down the street and Felipe and all. What did he do to you personally that hurt you so bad, that rocked your world, that killed your Santa Claus?
You know what happened? You know what happened?
Hold on, y'all. I need to be excused. Keep talking, please. I got to be excused. May I be excused?
Okay.
What happened was the Democratic Party have taught our people how to beg and accept handouts. And when you are taught to beg and accept handouts, they stick their hands into your trust and pull tricklers out. When they claim to be giving you something, it's really they are banks who are the fiduciaries over the estate. And when your wet signature gives them the right to pay you peanuts out of what they're stealing from you. And you hear me?
Man, when I found that out, you know, the hustle's so real, you don't know whether to laugh or cry. When you find out what's really going on.
Yeah. And so what Trump has been hired to go in there and tear down and destroy them having the ability to stick their hands in the trust, because he's talking in trust form. I understand that talk. So he's getting rid of these subsidized companies and these tricklers that they were supposed to be giving out to people. He's getting rid of it. And that's why he said he's destroying the straw, the paper straw, because he's destroying the straw man, which is the artificial you that they created. So when you sign your name on paper, because you're unalive, they take that paper, which is really, you think a contract, it's really an implied irrevocable trust. And because you are unalive and then express who you were in that trust, they take that paperwork, send it to the Treasury, and they pull that money for the straw man, which they have became the grantor of that paperwork by default. The straw man benefits from them, and they are the grantors. They get all the proceeds, man. And this is what they've been doing.
Man, we've been tied to so many adhesive contracts. It's crazy. It's crazy, but you know, through your teaching and through Dr. Kia's teaching, man, and all the other great scholars, man, we're gonna come up out of this thing. Am I all by myself? Uh-oh. All right, y'all. Well, I guess I'm the lone survivor for right now. Welcome to the Taj Diami show. No, I'm just joking. Kia should be back momentarily. Hopefully, Chief Mack can get back in here. Anybody have any questions for me? Because I got to waste some time now. I don't know if I can see the comments. No? Okay. Hopefully Dr. Kia can come back, you guys. Just give her a second. And I think there you go.
What happened, Chief?
Hey,
yes.
I think you got to send him another link.
Okay.
To get him back. Yeah.
They
said
keep
Mama.
Spaghetti. My son made me some spaghetti with these different types of noodles, but he got onions and peppers and garlic and broccoli, you know, because we're vegetarian. It's It's good. I haven't eaten all day.
Girl, you better take care of yourself. Stop playing.
You always say that. They said they still with you, Taj. They want to keep hearing. They said, "Hey, Taj, we hear you. Keep cooking."
Keep cooking. Oh man. We was just talking about adhesive contracts and all stuff like that. And they said, "Thank goodness that he is back." Chief Mack. Okay.
Yeah, I've been.
All right. 3 o'clock.
We were talking about how they are tapping into the trust that we are really heirs over, and this is the reason why when they put you in prison, they are really kidnapping you to get the body, the real man, in their federal warehouse, so that they can put money from the trust for you are paying room and board out of your trust and 3 lousy ass meals a day out of your trust to be warehouse in their federal warehouse. And this is why they throwing the prison system, because this is how they make money. And investors are getting proceeds from them because everybody's getting paid off your trust being in jail. So what if you found a way how to shut down them from tapping into your trust? And if that's so, they wouldn't have a reason to put you in jail the motivation to write you a ticket or put you in jail if you found out a way to freeze that trust account. Huh?
So would you say that they're tapping our energy when they put you in the cell and we are the battery?
Because the super
Woo.
cells are in the cells. The super beings are in the cells.
Wow.
The super beings
Wow.
are in the cell. And when they take the super beings and put them in the cell, it generates power for the whole world to survive off of.
They got some currents going on, some currency going on, huh?
Because it's moving.
All that energy.
All that energy contained, locked up in a cell, generating power for the whole world to feed off of. Huh? That's why the prison is booming in the Americas, because they got the super beings in cells, like they came out with the movie Super Cell.
Wow.
They had them beings in these cells. Have anybody seen the Netflix special called Super Cell? I watched that movie, and when I watched that, when I got to the third episode, I had to shut it down. I couldn't watch it. You want to know why? Because mine was the fourth name on the paper. It's with the people with power.
Wow.
Wow. These folks know who you are. My name was on that paperwork. They had four names, and my name was the fourth name at the bottom of people who had power that they were looking for.
Let me tell you, I was listening to a cartoon one time. I was in this office, and I listened to the cartoon, and they said, "Hey, Kia," and I was like, "You don't hear many people named Kia." There's there was a cartoon character named Kia, and they started telling her story. Yeah, you're something. You were born in Cleveland, and I'm like, "What the heck?" It was freaky.
Yeah,
I was like, "No, I can't be hearing this." You know what I'm saying? I often wonder if they take parts of our story and, because they know who we are, and incorporate it in their movies and their cartoons. And I'm not the first person that said this. And I hear you saying it, Chief. I've heard people say that they've seen their stories play out in movies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Listen, can I share something with the family?
Absolutely.
On my father's side, my great grandfather was Mexican.
Wow.
Yeah, on my father's side. So, again, going back with, our race, a color, and all stuff like that, you just don't know. It's like you can't really judge that by anything. It goes back to that we come in all shades and flavors, colors, and all that good stuff. So, yeah. And on my mother's side, my great grandparents, they owned over 100 acres of land in South Carolina, and they owned a paper mill.
Wow.
So that whole slave thing, we just didn't have that. Didn't have that. So.
Can I share something with you guys about some intel right quick? Can we take a station identification break?
Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, so family, before we got into our wonderful chat today with Chief Mack and our Moorish brother Taj Dyami, we talked to you about how the government is being downsized, and we announced that the IRS is closing down several offices, 120 offices, and the Department of Education is being defunded and downsized. And this is why they have offered many of the Department of Education workers a $25,000 severance pay if they retire early. They gave them that message on Friday, and they have to let the head of the Department of Education know by tomorrow, by Monday, if they're going to take this early retirement. So a lot of things is happening behind the scenes, and we just came on to share this good news with you all, and also to have some downtime here on this Saturday night to talk and relax, have a fireside chat. But before I turn it back over to Chief, you gonna say something? Before I turn it back over, hold on, Chief. Hold on, Chief. 1 minute, please. Wait a minute, 1 minute. Before I turn it back over to Chief and Taj, I just want to show y'all something, because I know y'all like to hear intel as well. Somebody had posted that this was on a CBI website. That's the Central Bank of Iraq, talking about things happening. So for all of you that have Iraqi dinar, I know y'all, we're a foreign currency community. That's going to be one way we realize our wealth. This, a couple days ago, something was posted on the Central Bank of Iraq's website, and it only lasts for 5 minutes and it disappeared. And that was that the new Iraqi dinar rate was $3.22. And then it disappeared after 5 minutes. And people are here saying, yep, they did that again. It happened before. It happened last week, and some people are saying, no, it's not true. But I've actually seen it before on a website where they had posted the rate, the Iraqi dinar rate. And this person is saying it was on the Central Bank of Iraq's website. So, I don't know if there's a glitch in the system of what's going on where they'll post a rate that the new Iraqi dinar rate, as it's fluctuating. And why would they post it and then take it off? I don't know. I'm just here to report the news. Okay. So I'm just the messenger. And having said that, I'll turn it back over to Chief. And Taj, what's your is it a brother? Is it Sheik? What is your title?
I'm just a brother.
Okay, brother Taj and Chief Mack.
Yeah, no titles, baby. No titles. I'm just a bro man. Okay. Just a bro man on the 5th floor. That's it.
No, 5th floor.
Man.
5th floor.
On the 5th floor. That's it.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Yes, that's it. I studied under Bruce Lee, Kia.
You did?
He was on the 4th floor. I was on the 3rd.
What?
She didn't get that. Chief, you caught that, right?
I don't get it.
I studied under Bruce Lee. He was on the 4th. I was on the 3rd.
Oh, you were under him. Okay. My husband always called me blonde. He said, "You are so blonde. You just don't get jokes. Everything goes right over your head."
It's all good. It's all good. So listen, guys, I got to feed my youngin over here. It's probably going to be a pizza night. Don't kill me. I'm a bachelor. I don't feel like cooking.
We understand.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
just come up just quick before you leave. Let the family know why you came on. Just 1 minute or two. However, because some people missed your testimony.
Kia had invited me on because I'm currently in a situation now that my son has been expelled from school because the refusal of the vaccine for meningitis. And so we're going through some issues right now, but everything is collapsing. Department of Education and all of those entities. And so we're going to be victorious through stuff. So we're homeschooling him now, and just lift us up in prayer, and just think about us tonight. His name is Micah, and just say a prayer for him, and that his mind will stay in the right frame of mind, and no depression or anything like that, and that we stay high vibrating. And I just love the Soul family, and I appreciate y'all all.
And you also shared your music.
Hey, Taj, we need to talk.
Hey, I'm gonna inbox you my phone number, or Kia has my number too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is Taj's song called Lullaby. He let us hear a snippet of it. It was beautiful. It's melodic. It's smooth. His name is Taj Dyami. That's T-A-J. Dyami. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
T-A-J. His last name is D-Y-A-M-I, and you can find him on YouTube, family. Beautiful, beautiful voice.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And the two of you are going to connect?
Absolutely.
No doubt.
We're going to bring you in too. Look at us looking like Shalimar. Looking like new Shalimar. or the Fugees, American style, the Fugees. There you go.
I'm gonna show your I know you got to go. Let me show your YouTube channel right quick.
I fell asleep late last night.
Oh,
the night and almost half the day away.
Taj Diami.
Just got up
Do it,
so
Chief.
that
Come on.
I can hear her say she's still in love. But we gonna put that. You can be Gregory. I can be Gregory Hines. You can be Luther Vandross.
Ooh, love wakes me up every day, and I know feel this way, and it fills me up. Everything that I know, she don't need loving. No matter what, take love away. I wanna
I
be
wanna be
loved.
loved.
So let yourself reach for that
For the
star.
sky, and on the
Yeah.
side of one high to the
To
one you
the one you
love,
love. It's better by
to
far.
love.
So let yourself reach for that star. And no
Matter
matter
what far, to the one you love,
to
to
the one you
love.
love.
No doubt, brother. You gonna put
Ooh.
it together, man.
Hey,
Hey, hey.
We gonna put it together.
there you go. That's love American style right there, baby.
Yes, that's
No
what we
doubt.
need.
All right,
Love,
y'all.
and we need some high vibrational music to come back. And you guys
Yes.
want to usher that in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love you guys. Chief, you got a brother and me for life now, okay?
Oh, no doubt, brother.
We
And
love you
thank you
too.
for taking care. Thank you for taking care and for covering my sister because she needs that. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Todd.
your masculine covering because now she really gonna fly up there in the ethers.
Yeah, and I have
And
to
I
say too,
appreciate
Taj, that you helped to cover me too. How many times have I cried to you when they took away my channels or they took away my money or things happen in my life. I didn't have anybody, that I could really confide in. So I'm very grateful, Taj, that you've always been there for me. I'm so honored. I'm so grateful. Thank you both.
well,
And this is why I keep telling people there are good men. I only know good men that love women, that cover women, and don't take advantage of women. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, that's what I got these big old shoulders for, King. I
Yes.
love me some Pruitt, man. I love me some Pruitt. And anybody that's connected to you, man, they all right with me.
Yes,
And
sir.
so thank you for letting me on and sharing a little bit of my story. And once we get thank you, LT. Thank you. And once things get going and we're gonna stay in the update and I'll gladly come back on the show and as long as the brother brings his piano, banjo, or something, we can
Hey, Todd,
do.
before you leave, what's your cash app? You got one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on.
It's $.
Hold on 1 minute. Let me put it in the chat. $.
Okay. TAJ DYAMI.
Oh, it's your name. So anybody who would like to bless or bliss Taj Diami, just singing us happy and sharing his story, then you can send him a blessing. He would greatly appreciate it. To $.
Can I do?
Huh?
Can I do one more?
Yeah. One more song?
This person is actually from the same city. I know him personally. Tell me y'all gonna catch this.
Hold on. Wait. $TAJDYAMI is where you can bless Brother Taj Diami for blessing us today. Go ahead, brother.
Only you can make me happy. Happy.
Right there.
Only you can make me happy. So happy, baby. Only you can make me happy. Thank you, Soul Family. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Taj. And please tell our internet nephew that we love him.
I've been waiting for. That's my.
Oh my God! Listen, I got to go before we'll be here all night. My baby be hungry. I'm a
Okay.
child hungry.
Look, I had to go on and eat while y'all was talking. I couldn't wait no longer.
Thank you so much, guys. I had so much fun. Oh my God. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
y'all. Love y'all. All right, y'all continue on.
Hold on. Somebody wants to send up a blessing. Renee Wilson, thank you so much for the blessing. We appreciate you. They're saying
Renee,
thank you.
thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you, guys. It's going to go right to my son. I promise. Thank you so much.
Taj, I got you.
Thank
I got
you.
a surprise for you, Taj.
Oh,
What you
man. Listen. Thank you. Oh, man.
I got you.
Oh, thank you.
We got you, brother.
Y'all messed me up. I got to go. Y'all don't mess me up. Lord have mercy. Y'all messed me up. I got to go.
All right, brother.
I got you, brother.
Thank you. All right. Love you, man.
Love you too.
Sis.
Love you, baby.
Thank you, Soul Family. Appreciate you. Love you. Thank you.
Good night, sweetheart.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
You staying with us a little bit longer, Chief? Or you ready to go?
Oh, but we been taking up so much of these people's time, man. On here,
Yeah.
laughing. They watch the listen on the weekends. Dr. Kid show is gonna be for the grown folks, man. Y'all better be on the weekend. We're gonna make you laugh. We're gonna cry. We're gonna have salvation, conviction. We're gonna tell some dirty jokes, man. So make sure your children are up and put away, man. We're gonna make you laugh and blush and turn purple, man.
Chief, Sister Melissa said, I need your help, Chief. So let me put their information in the chat. See? Yeah, I need your help.
Listen, I sent a link to those of you who wanted to know about the patches you put on your body to help the stem cells to recover, regenerate, and reverse the heart rate. I sent the link for those who want that link. You can hit me up right quick. It's coming on at 8 o'clock Central Time to get the information.
Oh, right now? What is 8 o'clock Central Time?
8 o'clock
what
Central.
Time is...
So right now it's 7:30 Central Time.
Okay. It's 8:30. Okay, an hour.
I'll send the link to you as well.
Okay, thank you. And it's your name. I mean, where you can be found as Unity Emotion 45 at yahoo.com.
And if they can't get in now, it's 3 or 4 times a week you get the call. But I'll send that link out to around maybe 15 to 20 people and try to get on the call if you can, so you can make the executive decision. Because I have some people saying they need that in the worst way. They got some family members that's dealing with some things.
So this is for the patch, but some people also are asking for information about that EE system, that center you were sitting in. Is it called EE system? People want to know.
I post that to my page, guys. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see I post a video of the Dr. Tony Akers, and she's patient. It's on my page. I posted just this I think yesterday. I posted to my page. And she's I feel really great. I was pretty tired about an hour and a half or 2 after, because when your body's healing, it gets tired. And when you sleep, go to a healing. So I'm going to get another treatment this coming week, and we're just working on recovery, healing, and salvation right now. Chief's going to bring it to you guys to work on exercise, and a lot of people on medication. I have people say they're on dialysis, and the brother said that the pills that he was giving, he said, I'm not taking that, Chief. I'm not taking this up, man. I mean, just what he told me. And if he did take it, he'll be a lot worse off than what he is.
People are asking, where'd you send the link? Or should I put it in the chat, or you emailed it to them?
No, I can either text it to them at the number, or put it in the Facebook. If you're friends on Facebook, if I have your number, I can just send you the link, and when you get right on, and you will hear all the testimonies and people, the things it's done for folks with seizures, tumors, heart attacks, strokes, pain stuff. This stuff is really good. It's just stuff that what the rich been doing is it's been opened up to the public right now. Those of us who are tapped in. This is why you don't see rich people in the hospitals. This is why you don't see them eating fried foods and greasy shit. You don't see them doing that. When you got listen, when you have an abundance, you become true to the point you protect yourself, your avatar, your vessel, and you protect those around you. That's why you operate with trust. You don't You want if you have an abundance, you're not easily gaslighted, or you're not going to eat anyway to be able to in no hospital, because the hospitals are not the hospital are for unalive people, spiritually and mentally,
Mm.
and their job is
Mm.
to finish you off.
Mm.
That's the job. And so people who are wealthy understand trust, and they understand you eat a certain way. You eat a certain way because you have a certain understanding, and they ain't trying to be in no hospitals, man. It's an inconvenience to people who are wealthy in mindset. They're not trying to be in no hospitals, man. That's why you don't see them there. You don't see you don't see a whole bunch of Africans and Asians in the hospital.
Hey, Chief, check this out. Snooky Bay says my mom did her first 2-hour treatment today.
Awesome. I'm glad I was able to bring that, but I didn't even know anything about that about a week or so ago. When I talk to so many people, anything that's good for me, I share with this whole family.
And Melissa said her mom has a brain tumor.
Well, you need to get this patch. You need to get this patch, definitely. Email me, reach out to me, and for those of you who have family members going through things, I believe and I think the great that he's going to bring remedy. He's going to bring hope.
So if in order to get the information, they need to email you in order, because they're asking about this link for tonight's show.
Well, if you email me real quick, I can try to attempt to email me your telephone number. I can send a link to you. We got about 28 minutes.
We only got 28 minutes, family. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat. I showed you all the Facebook, his Facebook page. You have to send it really quickly if you're going to send him a message through his Facebook page. But he is Judah Allen right here. He's got 27,000 followers on that page. And so let me put it here in the chat. Hold on for you. Hold on, family. And also I'm gonna put up his link. His what do you call it? Email. But okay, I'm gonna put it up in a minute in the chat, family. But before I do that, Taj wants to come back on briefly because his son wants to tell everybody thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, guys, for
Can you see him?
No, not I can only see half his face.
Oh, okay, come in.
Thank you, Dr. Kia and Chief Mack, for all the support. It means a lot to me. Like, truly. Thank you.
And the soul family.
Yeah, thank you too.
Remember I told she's known you since you were a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that's Dr. Kia with the big hair?
Yeah.
All the time? Yeah. So everybody, thank you. He's going to get some pizza now, so say thank you for all the blessings.
Thank you for all the blessings.
See them dimples, girls? See them dimples, ladies?
Look at it.
Lock them in the club. Gotta lock them in. Look, 2 to the neck, elbow to the neck, right? And he sings too.
Wow.
I know. He ain't gonna, one day he'll sing y'all.
We're so proud of you,
Thank
Micah.
you so much.
Yes.
It's so proud.
Yes. Thank you.
I hear feedback.
But I just want to say
it's not always taking a stand. So
You hear that?
I honor you. And I respect you greatly. Because now you're a man.
You're over 13.
So you have to be
the leader.
And for your younger
siblings.
Yeah.
Tell Chief Mack.
Thank you, Chief Mack.
I'm gonna say thank you.
Say thank you.
I got something nice for you.
He said he got something nice for you.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And they said you handsome. Look at you. Ah. He's me, y'all. He just beige 2.0. he just beige.
You're doing a phenomenal job, Taj. You and his mom.
Thank you. All right, we love y'all. Tell everybody.
Okay.
Say shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, baby.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
Okay, good night.
Okay, good night.
That was so beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah, it takes a village to raise these babies, and
words right out my.
Say it again.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I said just when they say it takes a village.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Chief, we got your email up, Unity, UNITYINMOTION 45 at yahoo.com. And your Cash App is, if anybody wants to send you a blessing, is $ Allen Judah 47. That's $ ALLEN JUDAH 47. Is that correct, Chief?
Yes, $ALLEN JUDAH 47.
And then, Chief, I want to say that so many people over the last, like yesterday, you and I did 2 podcasts. One of them was fire. Both of them was fire. But the first one live, we talked about how America, the true Egypt, is rising as the deep state collapses. And then on the second one, we talked about the Pope being on life support and how, it's a symbolism also for not only him being on life support, but the deep state is on life support there at the wit's end. And you and that second podcast had us rolling, talking about chicks with sticks and how the celebrities are leading us astray. People were saying you were on fire. They had never seen you like that before. And so from those podcasts, I just want to acknowledge that so many people, Chief, my heart was just really, really blessed. I know you got to go. So many people sent me, that's too big. So many people sent me Cash App blessings. So I just want to acknowledge them right quick. I'm sorry, y'all, that this is big, covering up the whole screen. It shouldn't be like that. But I want to acknowledge you all that blessed me. I'll say it right quick. Norma Salazar said, I'm sending you love and light. Deborah Allen sent me a gift. She said, thank you. Michael A. George, feathers up, fire, sent me a blessing. Maxine Alibi sent me something and said, thank you. Mary Johnson says, gratitude. She sent me a financial blessing. Kimberly Troy, thank you. Devereen sent me a blessing. Thank you. Sheila Wallace, God bless you. Have a smile on you. I'm just so grateful, family. Dorian Garner said, God bless you. I wish I could respond, family, to your messages and Cash App. I can't. I can only put like a heart or something. So that's what I try to make sure. I always send a heart, but I can't write out a message. So that's why I'm acknowledging you now. Amy Vine says, we value and adore you, grand lady. Thank you, Sister Amy. She sent the blessing. Tiffany Williams said, this is for a donation. Thank you, Sister Tiffany. Tony says, I love your energy. Thank you, Tony. Harshanda Logan says, thank you. Yvette Smith says, teach us, Queen. Beautiful Max Ministry, Chief Mack in the house, dropping several $100s for Dr. Kia Pruitt, taking care of your girl. Thank you, Chief. Leah Whitmire says, healing tech is my passion. She sends a blessing. Linda Smith says, I love you, Dr. Kia. Thank you for your education. Chief Mack sent another blessing, dropping down big bucks. Thank you, Chief. Jermaine Page says, Wado. That's an indigenous greeting. Thank you, brother. Brenda Garrett sends a blessing. Max Ministry, Chief Mack again. Ye Hong Zhu sent the message, and Arnold Allen. Thank you all so much. And the Symmetris Hilton says, thank you for your support. Natasha says, Ashe, thank you. Deborah Alicia says, thank you. Zay says, thank you, gratitude, excited for the golden age. And one last one that just came in. God bless you. Sister Joyce Duckett, thank you so much, Sister Joyce Duckett. God bless you. Heaven smile on you is my prayer. I am always honored, family, when you give of your bounty, of your overflow to Dr. Kia Pruitt. And for those of you asking, my Cash App is $ Mama Kia 13. That's $ MAMAKIA 13. Thank you so very much. I now turn it back over to you, Chief. Chief, you in the house? We can't hear you, Chief. You're welcome. LT says the vibes were beautiful. I can't hear you, Chief. Renee says, I need help. Oh, man. You need help, Renee? Would you like for me to send you Chief's number? Let me see. So Chief has been talking about how to live in the private outside the jurisdiction of the government. That's one of the things he does. He also has information about an EE system that deals with healing frequencies. And he is a representative of that sells patches that regenerate your cells. This is for entertainment purposes only, education. I'll say education. And he also helps with what else? He's a personal trainer. He used to train celebrities and athletes. So he can do that if you need a plan or something like that. There's a lot of things that he does. So I see you said you need help, Sister Renee. I'm going to let Chief know that. And I'm putting his email up in the chat. Chief, you here?
Yes, I hear.
Okay. People are saying they need help, Chief. So I'm putting your email address back up. Any words you'd like to share? Any final words, Chief?
Oh, just maintain. Don't be in a rush for anything. Try to do all that you can do to be able to include yourself in this transfer of wealth. IRS, Vietnamese done with whatever you can get, so that we can break these generational curses. You know, that's what it's all about. Freedom and breaking it. You break these generational curses, you have freedom and longevity, and you get your hands. That's what we should be working on. So keep your head clear. You know, stay in a positive mentality. And don't let anybody guess like you out of your inheritance is coming, guys. I'll say that right there.
And so where are you on your way to now, Chief, so I can share that with the Soul families?
I'm going to pick my younger brother. I am so happy to say that my brother, 1 year younger than mine, his spiritual eyes are opening up, and I am blown away. And he see me as his champion right now. His eyes, everything that he fought against me, he didn't like me. He loved me, but didn't like me. And I'm just so happy and ecstatic that the Great Spirit has allowed his eyes to open up to the point I'm his hero. And I'm going to pick him up right now and take him out. He likes to be around me right now. It just feels so good that one of my siblings, he's saying things the way I've seen it, and I'm excited about that. I'm happy.
Yes. And you said there was a call that I'm happy for you too, Chief. Did you say there's a call coming on tonight?
Yeah, it's at 8:00, guys. So I mean, those of you who may not be able to get on it right now, I have sent the link out to a lot of people already. But if I'm able to, I gotta position myself because it's coming on in the next 17 minutes.
Okay, so that's 8:00 Central Time, which is 9:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Chief. I'm not going to keep you. I know you're going to pick up your brother, and you have to get on the call.
No, I'm multitasking. I'm gonna be on the call as well.
Oh, at the same time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the call.
They're saying love to you, Chief Mack, and Dr. Pruitt. Thank you, Divine Hazel. We love you too. All right, Chief. Thank you so much for joining the show and sharing your wisdom and knowledge and all the information. You've been a blessing to the Soul family. Thank you. I appreciate you, Chief. And thank you for covering me in prayer, making sure I'm protected, counseling me, financially taking care of me so I don't have to work. I can focus on research and sharing information with the Soul family. I sincerely appreciate it, Chief. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, darling. You ready to go?
Well, y'all take care. I'm ready to get up and check out.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Soul family. We hope that we've said something to raise your vibrations and inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Good night, Soul family. We appreciate you. Bye-bye. Bye, Chief. Good night, sweetheart.